and welcome to MinnMax, I almost did the bonus pod intro, a place about games, friends, and getting better. My name is not Ben Hansen. My name is Haley McLean, and I am here on behalf of Ben Hansen today, who's in the beautiful Puerto Rico on a lovely vacation, as he should. He saw the Bad Bunny halftime show and said, I'm going there. That's what I want to do. So we don't have him the next 2 weeks. It's just me. But I'm joined, of course, by a gaggle of cohorts. Today we have Janet Garcia.
Hello.
Hello. We have Jeff Macchiafava.
Me.
You. We have Kyle Hilliard.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Let me vamp a little bit. Haley went off mic. Oh, she's back. She's back.
I closed my door. And Kelsey Lewin.
That's me.
Hi, Kelsey. We have lots and lots and lots of fun stuff to talk about today. The biggest, fattiest, juiciest release being Resident Evil Requiem. Finally dropping. I know some of us have played more than others, but we're going to be talking about that today. Kelsey has played Paranormasight, The Mermaid's Curse. Pretty close to finishing that, you said, last I spoke with you. So we're going to talk about that.
Yes.
Spunky visual novel. Jeffem's going to be talking about Insider Trading, a rogue deck builder game.
Surprise.
Surprise. And then Steam Next Fest was all this week. So we have like a crap ton of cool indies that have like no reviews on Steam to talk about that look really cool. So a bunch of us have played different demos from those, and we'll be talking about those kind of rapid fire style. And then, of course, in the back half of the show, we have our lovely community questions. And that's how we'll end the show today. To dive right in to the thickest one, as I attested before, Resident Evil Requiem. Kyle, you've beaten this? Question mark?
No.
Not yet?
I was too busy playing God of War, Sons of Sparta, which
me
backstage passers can hear all about Janet and I talking about at length. But I'm I don't know, like 3 or 4 hours into Requiem. I'm not super far, but I will say, before you go around the horn, I'm liking it quite a bit.
Okay, exciting. Jeff, you played a little bit of it too?
Yeah, probably like 6 or 7 hours.
Okay. And Janet, you've been playing it as well, right?
Yeah, I'm like 7 to 9 hours in. My PlayStation 5 progression says 55%. I'm guessing 100 would be doing everything. So I'm like a little bit over halfway into the game.
Oh, and you're like collecting every little document and everything, it sounds like, on the way as well.
I hope I am, but I don't really know. I'm doing my best, and that's all anyone can ask for.
Well, I mean, typically, and I get the sense, and maybe Jen and Jeff might know better, but like Resident Evil's like never been a game, any entry has been particularly long. Like 4 is maybe the longest, and it's very much a game that's like encourages replaying and getting through as quickly as possible and doing the most efficient route. So, well, 55% at like 7 hours sounds about right.
Yeah, it depends on how scared you are when you're playing and how many backtracks you do to a typewriter. Well,
it depends on if you're a big baby and bad at video games, which is why I don't finish Resident Evil
I'm
games.
close to like 40 saves in this thing. Like,
really?
I'm saving every 2 seconds. I do that dumb thing where I'll save, manage my inventory, and then I'm like, well, now I got to save again because I just did all this inventory.
Hey, no shade there. At least, do you keep the running list of like 12 different saves, and then you just start back over at the top and keep overwriting them?
This time I have restraint. I only have 2, and I only put the second one because something weird was happening, and I was scared that something bad would happen to me. I don't even remember what it was, but I'm like, I need a backup just in case.
That's part of the game, Janet.
Things go sideways.
You should be scared that something bad is going to happen to you. That's like, I think that's what Resident Evil's about.
Yeah.
Like you'll like the scariest thing to me is like when because you change characters. And like, I wasn't done, quote unquote, playing as Grace yet. I wanted to go unlock that safe, but then a cutscene pulled me into the next section to play as Leon, and I couldn't go back. That was scary for me.
Yeah,
I guess I'm alone there.
I'm excited to hear you guys talk about this game because it was only revealed like 8 months ago, I want to say. It was like a quick turnaround time in terms of showing it off versus people actually getting their hands on it. And today I was on YouTube just like doing research on it, and I kept seeing like best Resident Evil since 4? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Is that person right? Are they lying to me in their YouTube thumbnail?
I, funnily enough, never played through 4 all the way. I've hit up 7 to a different version of 2 or whatever, and like I think those are an 8 village. But I am really enjoying this game a lot. Again, I'm only halfway through, and Resident Evil can sometimes take a turn like halfway through the game. Like a lot of times that's when the structural changes kind of happen. You know, in 7, it was when you left the house. In 8, the changes kind of happened earlier where you were like quickly kind of bouncing around different like vignettes of environmental areas and parts of the narrative. But I think this does like a great job at really well blending the stealth survival horror, like low bullets with the action between Grace and Leon respectively, where I'm really afraid during the Grace parts. It's recommended first person view. I left it as recommended, even though I was like, I changed it. Who would know? You know, because I genuinely get pretty scared playing these. And I was very stressed, especially playing Grace's sections. But then getting to have like the cutaways to, oh, now you're Leon for like a little bit were some really nice breathers. And the Leon components are very classic action-y. Like before, I've only played through the first little area where you're in the village. And then I just keep restarting it because I got my own problems on the side of playing this game. But like the freaking windmill kick, like that's in here. It's like you play as Leon and it's total power fantasy, schlocky fun, kind of a little bit gross with like the monster design. And then again, you go back to Grace and you're in the puzzles. You're worried about stuff. You're meticulously planning. Okay, I'm going to run down the hall. Is anything going to be there? So I'm really enjoying it so far. It's shaping up to be among the great Resident Evil games, like the RE2s, the RE7s. And I don't know if it fumbles in the back half. I don't know how much that will sort of mar what has come before. I've really been enjoying it, but yeah, curious where the rest of y'all land on your time with it so far.
Yeah, you called out the major thing that I was going to, which is like the two halves between Grace and Leon feel so disparate from one another, but it works so well, and I'm so glad that both halves are in there, both in terms of gameplay and just like the juxtaposition of their characters is really fun too, because Grace is freaked out by everything, as she should be, and then Leon's like spitting his one-liners, and it's just like I love that. It is like a nice fan service to the character of just having this character who's been through so many of these, and you've been with him through so many of these, that like, yeah, he doesn't care that much. He's like so calm under pressure, you know, and like the first interaction when he meets Grace is really fun. And I
felt like just like nice and wholesome. I don't know. When he gave her his very powerful gun, you know,
yes.
He's like, hey, I have like the best gun that's been in any Resident Evil game. Why don't you take that? I'll be all right.
It's called Requiem, which I was like, that's sick.
He looked in the camera and said, that's what the game is called.
Yeah, exactly. And then he winked at me. Yeah.
And we all like Leon would do that. He's like the one kid
he didn't actually do that in this case, but he could have.
Yeah. But so I also with the caveat that, you know, I'm not super far into it, or I don't, you know, in the first half of it. But I think it's great, and it's one of my favorite Resident Evil games so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's early to say it, but like I really, it is definitely one of those games that I'm like annoyed that I'm not playing it. If that makes sense. Like you have those sometimes. And I was like hesitant about the two sides of Resident Evil coming. I thought it would just feel like you're playing like two different games, which it kind of is, but like it works when you do seem to be playing more as Grace, and you spend like a lot of time in this early section, and you have to go back and forth. Typical Resident Evil, you're kind of memorizing this setting and knowing where the zombies you've left that are alive and stuff like that, and it's like, and you got to be careful and cautious. And then Leon literally drops into that same location, and it's so satisfying to be like, yeah, I know where everything is, I know where all the zombies are. I'm just going to go kill everything that I've left behind, and it's going to be fun. And it's going to be like you have this huge pressure build with Grace where it's like intense. And Leon is the valve to like release that tension. And it works and in a way that it works better than I thought it would. And then like, it's almost dumb in retrospect, because like their pitch has always been like, yeah, it's like this, you know, we're going to combine 7 and 8 and 2 and 4 remake like that. We're going to take the best parts of both of those and combine them. And I'm like, well, that sounds wonderful, but I don't know how you pull it off. And I've been playing this and I'm like, oh, that's how you pull it off. Like I'm really enjoying it.
Does it have that kind of campiness that, because my favorite Resident Evil ones are the really campy ones, like 4 and 8 to a degree. Like 7 was kind of camp. Nah, 7 wasn't campy now that I think about it for more than 1 second. That game was scary as hell. But like, I really like those. There's no whimsy. Yeah, exactly. Whimsy. Is there any of that? Like, it's just the fact that Leon walks on screen enough to make it more of a, like a, I'm scared, but at least my comfort character is here sort of thing kind of energy.
There's like it has the over the topness of Resident Evil. Grace is an interesting character. I'll be interested to see how kind of the overall gaming community responds to it. But like everything that she's going through is legitimately freaky to me. The place that you're exploring, kind of the main place. I don't know if you go other places or whatever, but it is just such a horror show. And the game does one of my favorite things in horror games, which is that it puts you into positions where, like, in order to get away from what's happening, you can't retreat. You end up having to go forward, like deeper into the unknown, which is always like, I'm just constantly running away from stuff into new places. And like every time I burst through a door, it's like, oh Jesus, what's happening here? And like, how do I get away from all of this? And like the actual story moments and cutscenes and stuff, it's mostly like there's some Resident Evil logic going on. Like it's something that probably on repeat playthroughs would probably come off a little more, campy or like entertaining in a fun kind of way. But like I've been mostly freaked out. And then it is a relief when Leon shows up where it's like, okay, now I can handle this. And he's not taking it as seriously, so I don't have to take it as seriously when I'm playing as him.
That pressure release thing Kyle was talking about kind of thing. Of just, he shows up and you're like, oh, I'm safe.
Yeah, that zombie that came back to life, whose head like turned into like a globule that I unloaded like 2 full clips on and still didn't die. Leon can like shoot it in the knee and hit it in the head with an axe. And it's like, it's like that kind of stuff is super fun. I will say, compared to other Resident Evil games, I was struggling a bit in the first few, hour or two with Grace. I felt more underpowered than usual, right? Like that is the sort of trajectory of the game. You start out weak and maybe you only have 1 or 2 bullets. But initially, to a point where I was like worried, where I was like, I really miss Leon a lot, and I'm not even scared. I literally have nothing I can do here. I don't have a knife. I don't have a single bullet, and I can't sneak past them. And it's when that happens, it really stops being scary and starts being annoying very quickly, especially when they have enemies that are like, this enemy is huge and takes up the hallway and walks around and you have to find a corner and hope that it doesn't see you. There's a lot of that early on with Grace, but I will say I got over sort of the hill, and now I'm at a point where like, okay, I've usually got a knife. I've usually got bullets. Like it's like I've found the balance now, but I will say Grace's early part feels almost unbalanced in the grand scheme of Resident Evil, but you can get past it. But I had a couple times where I was like, you guys, I'm sure you've run into it, where you're like, well, I'm just going to put down the controller and let her die and hit the checkpoint, because there's like, I'm not going to try to get out of here. And that's just kind of annoying and not scary,
Yeah, I think what helps with that is she is like pretty underpowered, which is like classic for this formula. But fairly early on, like you get a blood collector. And to me, that's like a big game changer and differentiator for it in the franchise, where you can collect blood and then use that blood to craft stuff. Like you would sort of do research at these different science terminals and they're like, you can craft this now. Again, does it really make any sense? No, but that's Resident Evil, baby. You just go with it. It's like you can craft like better health stuff. But you can also craft, like the first thing they have you do is this sort of, I forget the lore name for it, but it's an injector where you can do stealth takedowns of zombies, inject them, and then they explode, and that will also permanently take them off of the map. So, and you can also do that when you're not doing a stealth takedown. If you get like caught up like the monster you described, Kyle, with like the globule head, I was like working on killing him. I really couldn't do it. I'm like, F it, I'm just going to use one of my like injectors like partway through fighting it. And it's like, great, that knocks that out. And that was really fun. It also turned Grace's section into a game of collect the blood.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
like, and you can do some really like OP upgrades too eventually, like with like, you can do full like health and like weapon like upgrades like through that as well. So that like became a really cool like piece for me. And it also just became like crafting girls rise up, you know, like go and collect a couple resources and then go ahead and like make your OP bullets or your health or whatever. So I think that helped.
You'll go up to
a
a bucket of blood, right?
Yeah.
A huge bucket of blood, and you'll fill up your thing, and it's like there's no more blood in there. And I'm like, come on, there's like a whole lot more blood in there. There's like
no more blood
3 gallons of blood in there. There's literally a bathtub that she decides to stop like pulling blood from.
It's like the cream though. It's the chaff that comes to the top. You want the good stuff.
Is that what it is? I haven't found that document. Okay.
It's the blood film. Yeah, exactly. A question I have for y'all though, instead of doing you haven't fully explored the room because it's this color on the map, you know, it changes color once you've cleared it. It doesn't have that, but it does have, if you're near enough to an object, they'll just put it on the map. So if you're next to a safe, it'll just put a safe there, even if you never saw it or interacted with it. Which the person that wants to collect all this stuff in me is like, shoot, made my job easier. I'm not going to complain. But the person who likes to also comb over stuff and feel rewarded for a careful eye sort of felt like they're kind of just handing this to me, but then also not handing me all the information because it doesn't count for the notes and it doesn't, you know, demarcate whether I've read all the notes. I'm curious how that landed for like the rest of y'all, because that was something that sort of was like a light negative for me, even though it did make playing the game easier.
I'm pro. I like it. Because usually what happens is I comb a room and then I leave and then I'm checking the map a few minutes later. And that's when I noticed I missed something. So like I was going to miss it regardless. I don't know. So I would rather just know that there's stuff, especially in a game like this where the stuff you pick up is so crucial. Like if I miss like a plant or something, like I want to know that. So I'm totally okay with it. Yeah.
Yeah. I missed the first gun that you get with Grace and did not have a gun for too long. And I noticed it on the map and like, I was not going back. There were too many bad guys in that room. I was not going back there if I, just for the fun of exploration, if I hadn't been able to see that on the map. So I do mostly appreciate it. I do like in the games when it will be like, okay, we're de-highlighting this room so you never have to think about it again. But this is a nice kind of middle ground, I think.
Does the blood meter thing, because as soon as you brought that up, that kind of had me thinking, like a lot of these times with these games, I kind of run past things that scare me and just go, next room. Is that kind of a nice sort of incentive for people to actually finish off zombies instead of rush through? Is that the purpose of that, do you think?
No, not necessarily. I think because you only can collect blood from like certain spots, like blood buckets. Sometimes enemies, when they die, they like have a pool of blood. I'm not really sure if any of y'all could speak to like which ones do and which ones don't, because it's not all of them either. It seems
kind of random. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But some of the enemies, I did notice some of the enemies that you take down, and maybe this is random drops and isn't like enemy related, but like some of the stronger ones that I've taken down, I've gotten coins, and those coins can be used to do upgrades. So there's a little bit of, I think, an incentive to fight some of them to a more completion element, but not necessarily for the blood collection. Though the blood thing being on the map was also really nice because I was able to do like a blood cleanup eventually. And you can also get an upgrade to hold more to let you do some of the like more OP upgrades, which I wish I had bought earlier. But instead I bought like the health, and I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot. Why did I spend my coins on the health? I was waiting so long to get the rest. But yeah, it was a fun, I guess, additional angle to like the exploration part though, Haley. So it's like, even if you got the one gun or the bullets or whatever, there could still be a reason to go back if you miss like some of the blood bucket, or because like your syringe can only hold so much blood, you might fill it up and it's like, oh, it's at 100, but there's still 30, drops of blood left in here. I guess I'll have to, craft something, come back later. So it just kind of like add incentive towards returning to areas that you maybe don't necessarily need to go back to, but want to for the elements.
Cool. And was there a lot more fan service besides Leon, were you finding, for like Resident Evil like fans of the larger series, because the context of this is my partner and I have been falling asleep to Resident Evil lore videos for like the last month. I actually looked her up so I could know it, but the Sphere Hunter on YouTube, she's so good and she has the best voice. I don't know if you've ever watched her. She does like horror stuff exclusively, and she did this really long video that we watched on Resident Evil Outbreak, and then I didn't even realize later that Alyssa, who's a playable character in that, is Grace's mom. So they're clearly trying to like connect things more and like be cute about it. And up to this date, not that much was known about Alyssa since Outbreak, and Outbreak was a multiplayer game that isn't even online anymore. So like, who cares? But that kind of stuff.
Kelsey actually mailed me a copy of Outbreak a couple of months ago.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Because Game Informer did a super replay of it of Outbreak, and it was I wasn't involved with it, but I encouraged them. I was like, hey, you guys should play through Outbreak because Alyssa's in there, and then we can we'll have this like knowledge of the lore. And then like they beat it, and I asked them about it, and they're like, oh yeah, no, there's like nothing in there about Alyssa. Like if there's like the Easter egg that we might see in Requiem is like if she demands ammo from another character, we'll be like, oh yeah, that's a reference to Outbreak.
The AI just screaming at you to do things.
Yeah. But there is, I mean, none of us are very far, but I certainly at this point I've played every Resident Evil except for one, weirdly. I mean, like strange in that way, but like I definitely there have been characters that have come up where I'm like, I know that name. What is that name? And I Google it and I'm like, oh, that's that character from such and such. And so that stuff is in there for sure. Like it seems like they're not, at least at this early point, it's like they're not, rather than invent a new character, like they're like, yeah, we'll just slot someone in here like that is familiar and cool. And like there's an early one that I was like, oh, I'm happy to see her back. That's exciting, stuff like that.
And just being back in Raccoon City alone must be 80% of the heavy lifting for the vibes too as well, right?
I haven't gotten there yet. Have you guys gotten there? I'm already enjoying it without even having gotten there.
Oh wow, I didn't realize it was a later thing.
Yeah.
The trailer makes it seem like it happens in 5 seconds, the way they're like, look where you're going. Remember this? Remember when you were a kid? Yeah, it's exciting. Any final thoughts on Resident Evil Requiem?
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not doing the deepest dive on it because I don't want to. It's a game like I can play like 2 or 3 hours at a time, and then it's like, nope, I'm done for tonight. Thank you. I'm gonna go play a roguelike that I don't have to think about. But at the same time, like it is gonna be such a good talker. In just the first like play session that I had, I was like, oh man, there's like 5 moments I would have brought up for the deepest dive. So you guys are gonna have a fun time on that one.
Yeah. Taylor, are you going to play this? I mean, we know how you feel about zombies. I'm
on the deepest dive, so I'm playing it.
Oh, you're doing it? Oh,
yeah, I'm doing it.
Good luck.
I have to. The only Resident Evil I couldn't finish because of the zombies was the remake of 2. And I tried, but they're so scary in 2. I really don't like them in 2. But
that's so interesting.
Yeah, well,
is it just like how the face decay or the humanity in their faces? Like I'm trying to think of what
face decay.
This will be like an issue. If this will be an issue for you or not.
It's kind of like the fact that I didn't realize when I first played it that they come back to life after you shoot them, which I know is always kind of a thing in Resident Evil games. But like when I play 4, they're silly because they're like more low poly, and I don't know. It's like Leon's funny, so
they're Las Plagas too. They're not zombies.
They're not zombies.
It's a completely different thing.
I acknowledge the controversy
zombies according
of saying
to the
that they're zombies in Resident Evil.
I put subtitles on. It says zombie, and then it goes, and I'm like, I guess
there's an asterisk. There's a tiny little asterisk.
Is there an asterisk?
No, I don't know.
Okay, I was gonna say, I was like, whoa, Kyle just cracked this thing wide open.
And then in the credits, that's where you see the editor's note. Not actually zombies.
I guess my final things I'd want to throw out there is It's wild how scary it is. Like, and maybe I know 8 isn't as scary as 7. Nothing's really as scary as 7. But I feel like I always think of these games as like, oh, horror games for non-horror people. And they are, but like barely. I posted on my Blue Sky, I have like a ring con that measures my stress levels. And I played most of what I've played for today, like in like one sitting. The other, like I played like the first like 2 hours or so, like separate. Finished God of War Sons of Sparta, as one does. And then I went back to this. And I'm like, okay, I got a day free. I'm going to dig into Requiem for the podcast. And great game, enjoying it, stress. Like, it was one of those things where I'm like, my partner walked by is like, are you having fun? And I'm like, yes, like through squinted eye. Like I was so like literally my stress level went from medium to like high, crying, throwing up, like in a good way though, because I do think that is because it creates like compelling environments and compelling moments.
Yeah, the fidelity of this game looks insane. It's so pretty looking.
Yeah. And one of my favorite things in any game, especially a horror game, is when I say something out loud and then the character says the same thing out loud. So we can't swear on this podcast, but I was like, oh boy, you know, y'all could put in what it actually was. And then Grace is like, oh boy. And I'm like, they nailed it. They like know what they're doing. Yeah. They did it well. They executed. So I really enjoyed that flow of things. And yeah, the Leon Pressure has been really nice. I'm also not like necessarily a Leon stan. I know people are going to crucify me for that. Again, I just didn't play 4, so I played 2. But like, you know, it's like he's simply a man, right? And he's cool or whatever. But when they announced like Leon's back, I'm like, honestly, it was kind of giving Wash to me. It's like, oh, you guys couldn't think of anything else, so you brought Leon back. And then when I like played with Leon, I was like, yeah, no, this is awesome. Like, it's just so likable that even though I'm like, is this kind of a fan service pull towards your back catalog? Yes. Does it work? Hell yeah, it works. So yeah, excited to finish it off. Hopefully by next week I'll have it done. But yeah, looking forward to the deepest dive and people's conversations on it.
I'd be curious to hear more women's take on the very apparent effort to make Leon as hot as he ever could be in this game. It's like such an apparent thing to the point that there's even like, not to this level, but like the quiet level of angles on his muscly arms or something, like Metal Gear sort of thing.
Mike, I feel like he found a haircut like 20 years ago and has stuck with it, like regardless of the times, right? Like that's the one thing. Like he is a handsome man,
kind of thing.
Yeah, like he's super handsome, but I'm like, man, you gotta do something different with his hair. Like this is like some aughts emo stuff, you know?
He pulls it off though. Something about it is like the fact that it's been so long.
Like, tonight will be the night that I will fall for you.
Yeah, but that was popular at the time.
Okay, wait. I fear Kyle may have ruined this hot man for me by pointing out that he has this emo haircut. I do think there is like an interesting conversation around Resident Evil and gender though, because this game does do the classic, the girl's really scared and now she has to take care of a smaller girl. And I'm like, bro, why we always got that? Like, I don't know, that those tropes do get a little bit tired. Still a great game, but it's a lot. I'm like, this happens a lot.
That was part of my reason for saying I'm interested to see what the larger conversation is going to be about Grace. And I'm also interested in seeing like how that changes over the game, because like I said, I'm not that far, but yeah, at the beginning it is a lot of like her ambient just soundtrack is her just like gasping like every 3 seconds non-stop at everything you see, which to be fair, I'm doing too while I'm playing. So I guess that works for me. But
I mean, this is stuff that, I would love to hear you guys talk about in Deepest Dive. But like, I feel like she does come across as like strong. Like she is scared, but she's not like trying to leave. You know, she's scared to jump in that hole where that monster just went to, but she does it. You know, and like I feel like there's a lot of that with her where she's like, I just have to go in there and this sucks. And you know, I'm not gonna
real bravery is. That's Haley finishing this game. That's real bravery.
Thank you, Kelsey.
And yeah, she grows into that. But I do think when like the first specifically like maybe like hour, it is a little weird that like you're an FBI agent, but you are moving with civilian energy.
Yes.
In a way that's like, and they kind of try to justify it by having like, oh, she's returning to a place of a traumatic event, but also like it just doesn't quite work that well.
They laid on very thick during that.
It feels very tropey of like, we got badass Leon and a scared woman character to play as. It's like, okay, guys, like
who forgets
I've seen this song before.
She's like, the cop's like, sir, you can't be in here. And it takes her like 10 minutes to like get her badge and be like, oh, I'm part of the FBI. It's like,
I'm part of the FBI. Like,
yeah, it's like,
you know, They do it a little dirty at the beginning.
They do. They definitely do.
Is it just to give her an arc, you think? So that by the end of it, she's like, yeah.
I don't know.
That
feels like Resident Evil.
Why does the arc only go to the women? I don't know. The comments are going to go crazy over this conversation. I shouldn't have brought it up. But it is something that sticks out to me. Like, having played some of these games before, it's like, oh, you guys always do this where it's like, okay, and let me guess, there's a kid that's scared and then you gotta help, and it's like, I don't know. That is getting a little bit old.
Leon's arc is during the events of Resident Evil 2, he just bottled that trauma up, just over, just slammed that jar tight as hard as he could, and now he is just a flat, he cannot engage with what has happened in his life at this point. All he can do is make fun of the guy for having bad breath. That's his arc. Because once he unscrews that jar, he falls apart and collapses.
Yeah,
it's too late for him to go to therapy now.
It's too far gone.
He's too far gone.
No.
His therapy is sharpening his axe.
Well, that's Resident Evil Requiem, as people have noted, where if you're like, wow, that wasn't enough coverage of Resident Evil Requiem, do I have news for you? Because literally everyone at MinnMax, I feel like, is streaming this game in the upcoming week. We have Janet and Isaiah doing a stream, we have Leo doing a stream, and we have Sarah and I doing a stream of some of the opening hours of this game. And there's going to be a Deepest Dive. So it's Sarah, Jacob, myself, and Blake Hester. He was a former intern when I was an intern as well. It's how I first met him. Someone wrote in the comments, like, close enough, welcome back Game Query, which is our old podcast that we had with Leo and AJ as well, which was fun. And Jacob was, like, always our guest on that. So yeah, if you support MinnMax at any tier, or I believe actually the $5 tier or higher, you can unlock the episodes of the podcast version. And then you also can submit comments that we'll read during the Deepest Dive, that you can take part in that as well. And then section 1 of the game that we're covering, because the way that we do it, if people don't know for Deepest Dives, is we kind of section out the game into little chapters. So the first section is going to be until you leave the care center, which I don't even know what that means, but that's just what Ben said. Apparently something big happens at the end of that. So stop as soon as you reach that area of the game. And then the first episode 1 is going live Tuesday, March 3rd. And there'll be 2 more episodes after that. So it kind of feels like the first big game happened this year and we all were like, dibs, and jumped on it like a grenade. So there's a lot of Resident Evil Requiem stuff. But yeah, it sounds like it's doing well.
I think I am literally the only person not playing it.
Yeah,
are you just not going to play it because it's like
I'm going to watch you guys stream it. I'm just not, I think the only Resident Evil that I can say with 100% certainty, I have myself, I was holding the controller the whole time, start to finish, is Resident Evil 5, and that one's campy as all heck. So,
oh, wow, yeah. Yeah, that's the co-op one, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. Well, it does, if you put it that way, Kelsey, I don't think I've beaten a Resident Evil because I always play either with one of my friends or pass the controller with Sarah or something. I legit haven't ever.
That is exactly
way to play.
Yeah,
I have experienced many of them. I have not for myself formally.
For them to formally do that at some point, because that's how I played 7, and I loved playing that way with a friend passing the controller.
That's the only way I can get through that game. I played that game on VR as well. And we passed the VR
I would never touch that thing on VR.
It was hard. It was really scary.
No way.
No.
It was also early VR, they hadn't. They're still working out the kinks on that thing. Yeah, it was rough.
When they were demoing that game, they had a candle in there too. So you would get the smells. No, thank you.
I remember this.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
A candle? Not the gamer sense thing? It was a candle?
No, a candle they lit and it smelled like blood. It was terrible.
Oh, yeah. Hate that. Well,
and the poor Capcom employees had to just live in there. They just had to sit in a blood candle room all day.
Blood room.
Imagine.
That's sick.
Yeah, it was called the Resident Evil. At least, it was the 4D candle.
Yeah,
that's what it was called. Which I hate even
as
more.
We all know, the 4th dimension is smell.
What did they do in Shrek 4D? That ride they had at Universal. It's just people farting in the room with you. Is that all it was? Resident Evil Requiem comes out very, very soon, February 27th, 2026. And it's coming out on PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch 2, which I'm very curious how people's experience on Nintendo Switch 2 will be, Xbox and PC. I hear, though, I've heard a couple people quickly say that it's running quite well on Switch 2, so that's exciting to hear.
That is exciting.
Yeah. Kelsey. Hi.
Yes. Hi.
No. Jeffem. Hi.
Hi.
No. Janet, hi.
Hi.
Damn it. No. Kyle, hi.
Patreon?
Close. I was waiting for someone to say hello. Hello.
Oh.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Fresh. What the hell? I figured it out. That's how it's all connected, you guys. Look, I'm a bit of a busy girl. I got a busy life. I'm a lawyer full-time, and then I do MinnMax stuff in the evenings, and then I'm supposed to game on top of that. How the heck am I supposed to eat any freaking food? This is an easy ad read for me because I love HelloFresh. I've used HelloFresh for multiple years before I even came onto MinnMax. So easy peasy lemon squeezy. I love HelloFresh. My partner and I have been using it for years and years. It takes a lot of the stress out of planning, cooking. We get 3 meals a week. It comes right to our door on Monday on the front of our deck. Like rain, snow, or shine. We had a huge snowstorm the other day, and we opened the door, and they weren't even like doing buses, but our HelloFresh was outside. We're like, what? Like we fully expected it to not get delivered. It was still there. Michael usually picks our recipes for us, but there's 100 new recipes every week. Last week we had stuffed bell peppers with like really good ground turkey in them. This couscous stuff that was like lighter than couscous. They're putting ingredients in there I don't even know the names of. And I'm trying out all new foods. It's really great. They also
helps you. It helped when I used it. It helped me like learn how to cook.
Yeah,
I really like that. Like that was like a side effect I didn't realize I was getting. I was like, oh, I'm like actually like a much better cook now.
Yeah, cool. The skills kind of transfer over when you're making other things on the fly. Like I realized that I was really bad at cooking shrimp, and the HelloFresh little back end of the thing taught me that you have to stop as soon as they curl into a little circle. I was like, oh, noted. Okay, I won't just overcook these into rubbery bricks. Thank you, HelloFresh. And speaking of shrimp, because I'm a shrimp girl, they say 3 times the seafood with no upcharge lately. And we get the shrimp passes a lot because, I don't know about you guys, but shrimp just feels fancy. And when you can get someone to deliver you shrimp to your door, it just feels good. So go to HelloFresh.com/MinnMax10FM to get 10 free meals. That's insane. And who wants to guess what the extra free thing that's being offered on here is? There's also a free item, you get a kitchen utensil.
Oh, I was going to say I hope it's like breakfast or something, but it's a utensil?
It's a free,
spatula.
Better than a spatula, free swilling knife at $144 value on your third box.
Why did you all guess spatula? Every single person guessed spatula?
I was literally going to ask, like, Jeff, why did you also guess spatula? What does this mean for us? Like,
you guys have no creativity?
It's no, the friend that likes Horizon also thinks of spatulas as a useful kitchen utensil.
No, a swilling knife. Offer valid while supplies last. Free meals apply to discount on first box. New subscribers only. And the lawyer in me always wants to say varies by plan. Always read the fine print. So thank you to HelloFresh for supporting MinnMax. Kelsey, I'll ask again. Hi.
Goodbye, Fresh.
Hey. Hi. Now I'm gonna.
Hello. Wait. How do I have to say it this time?
You're fine. Now I just want to talk to you about Paranormasight. Paranormasight. Don't worry, you're not getting called up to the stage for another ad read.
Oh my gosh, you guys. I know this is a big Resident Evil week, and that's kind of the like horror thriller game we all want to talk about. But Paranormasight: The Mermaid's Curse is so good.
Ooh.
It's so freaking good. I really loved the first Paranormasight, but as I have alluded to on this podcast, I'm a big baby. That first one was a lot more horror based. It's a visual novel with some puzzle solving and like some just mystery stuff. A little bit of gameplay, but it's mostly a visual novel. And that first game was set. I feel like it all happened at night, and there were a lot of like, I'm gonna turn around and right behind me is gonna be a freaky deaky ghost girl, and like, even when you know it's coming, hate that. Can't like, I'm like, I was like holding my Switch away from me, moving the stick because I didn't really want to see the jump scare that was behind me.
Even like in a visual novel format, it's like that's spooky.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's not just text. Like you move around the camera and you kind of like interact with the environment and that sort of thing. I really liked that first game. I thought the writing was incredible. But it was very, very difficult for me to finish because it was so scary. Apparently the developers genuinely like took that feedback to heart, and they were like, we just want to tell really cool stories. If you guys are too scared of this, let's tone down the horror a little bit. And so this is a story about curses and about mermaids, and thank God most of it takes place during the day, so there's just not as many like spooky jump scares in it. And it is got a ton of like interesting history and Japanese folklore in it, and that was true of the first game too. We just have kind of moved over to like more islandy history, I guess is what I would say. Like it's about it's got mermaids and it's got ancient Japanese history.
Japanese mermaids are way scarier, right? Like, it's less of a cutesy thing. Like in the Western, it's more of like that thing will eat you sort of thing.
Yeah, so and that's part of the story too, is that like the first Japanese like mermaid folklore was those things where it's like it's mostly a fish and just the face is a lady, and it's scary and it's not cute. But this game kind of talks about like all different types of mermaids throughout it. So you start the game with this kind of showing it on the screen right now, but you start the game just as this like 20-year-old boy, and he wants to be a diver, and he's coming back to this island that he grew up on, and he's trying to learn more about his past and about his mom, who had passed away in a crazy maritime accident. And throughout the course of the game, you go through all of these different, like the events of the game. It only takes place over the course of like a week. Okay. But you go through the events of the game through the eyes of like 5 different characters. All the characters in this game are really, really strong. It unfolds in like, it's the perfectly paced kind of mystery thriller where you're like, I think I might know where this is leading. And then it'll unfold a little bit more. And you're like, ooh, actually, I think it's unfolding a little bit more like this. And so I have a whole page of notes on my phone on this as I've been editing as I go through it.
Like just trying to figure out the mystery as you go kind of thing.
Yeah, and there's multiple parts to the mystery. There's a couple of different like curses that are happening around the island. There's some, various shady characters. It's a small little town where everyone kind of knows each other on this island. So the characters are all very like fleshed out. They've all kind of known each other the whole time. So you get a lot of good information on all of the characters. But yeah, it's just, I think if you are interested at all in like mysteries, in Japanese folklore and stuff in particular, this is a super well written game. I also love this visual style so much.
Yeah, it's really cool.
The characters in this game make the funniest faces that are like, they're like both realistic and cartoony, and it's just got such an interesting visual style where they've got these really like thick outlines, and they're overlaid over like basically beautiful photographs of real locations, but they've put kind of like a filter over it to make it look a little bit more like a painting. It's really, really nice. And
I'm
the
excited
puzzles,
to play
I think,
it.
are the right amount of challenge. Like times where I've been like, okay, I know what they're like getting at, but I don't know how to arrive quite at the answer yet. I have to figure out like, what am I missing here? And it does have a good hint system in it too. Like most of the puzzles, someone will be like, hey, I think I kind of know what's going on if you need help. And then they'll feed you little bits of information.
Oh, it's like naturally built in. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought this. Like I have it downloaded on my Switch too with the intention, like my wife and I are going to try to set aside time to play it together.
Good.
Like, it's what's the percentage of adventure versus visual novel? Because I definitely am more on the more interested in the adventure side of it.
You'll move around a little bit, but it's not, I mean, you don't like walk around, you don't control a character walking around at any point. But you definitely do have a decent amount of control over like anytime you're in kind of a new setting, you have a decent amount of control over like, okay, do I want to like look at everything in this environment first? Do I want to like think about things? Do I want to open, my files? I forgot to mention the game has a very good file keeping system because they do throw a ton of Japanese folklore and stuff like that at you. And they keep it all in a nice file system that you can reference at any point, even like mid conversation or in the middle of like, we're about to ask you to do a puzzle or something like that. So there've been lots of times where I'm like, okay, I know the answer, but I forget what this is called because they threw a lot of terms at me. And then you just have to kind of go find it in the files and present it. So I absolutely love this game. I still have a little bit to go. I feel like I've unlocked like it's these different branching paths, as I mentioned, where you have a few different characters you're seeing the events through, and it happens totally asynchronously. So you'll be at like the end, and then you'll learn something that unlocks a way earlier scene for a different character, and so you're seeing it at kind of like all these different points throughout the story as it unfolds, which can. I will say the only potential flaw with this game, I've been kind of binging it, but you this is not one where like you can set it down for 3 days and come back to it. You will forget things for sure.
Is it have puzzles built into it, like ones that you actively have to get through with like mouse controls or whatever, or is it mostly just there's choice based?
Yeah, it's mostly choice based and some like typing stuff in, but there's definitely some like physical puzzles too. I'm trying to
looks like there's a
diving
mini game on screen.
There is the beginning is a diving mini game, which is actually kind of fun. And you can spend a lot of time in this. The puzzles will be things like, you know, you have a map and you have to figure out what the map means and how to find things on the map. And there's like kind of clues that you've learned through talking to people, and then also like clues on the map itself. And you have to kind of manipulate it to figure out how those things work together. And you are like physically manipulating the map at that point. So, I mean, there's some like physical puzzles in it too, but not a crazy amount. And none that I ever got fully stuck on because there is a good hint system.
Okay. And Paranormasight, great word to say. Great mouthfeel word. Paranormasight.
Yeah.
When you first, I think I watched one of this game trailer in like a Nintendo Direct or something, but I always remembered Paranormasight. When you brought that up in the meeting, I was like, oh, that's such a good name. I don't know. In a sea of names that everything has Horizon in it and everything sounds the same, like Paranormasight, good job. I like that one. I like that name.
And it was kind of a stealth drop too. Like no one knew this was in development. And then they were just like, yeah, it'll be out in a couple of weeks.
It's a good year for Mermaid in the title puzzle adventure games, because the Croak Country team, SFB Games, they have the Mermaid mask coming out at some point this year. I don't. Did any of you guys play Tangle Tower? Did you guys play that one?
No.
That was like a fantastic. Barely. Yeah, I really loved that. Like my daughter and I played it together, and it really caught me off guard as being like, "Whoa, this is amazing! This is fantastic!" So I'm actually like really looking forward to the Mermaid mask. So it's funny that there's two, like there's Mermaid Curse and Mermaid Mask this year, adventure games.
Cool.
Yeah, that's weird.
Awesome. Well,
anyways, highly recommend. Pick it up.
Someone in chat already said they're going to pick it up based on your recommendation right now, Kelsey. So you already turned one person over.
Yeah, if Ben were here, he'd be like, "Is this going to be in your top 10?" And
I won't do that to you, girl.
I would tell him almost certainly yes.
Okay.
So,
what are you playing it on?
On Switch.
On Switch? Okay,
Switch 2, I guess.
That's where I picked it up. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's on iOS, Android, PC, and Switch.
When you say it's long, how long is it? Because the length is kind of
just longer than I expected. Like a lot of visual novels can be like 8 to 10 hours, and this one's more like, from what I hear, 12 to maybe 14, 15. Okay. So.
The first one was Paranormasight, The Seven Mysteries of Hanjo. Would you recommend people
play? I think we all owe
play?
Kelsey a game, actually.
We all
maybe a couple.
Well, no, I did Yakuza 7 for her. I'm not.
Yeah, Haley's off the hook.
Fine, Haley's a better person than me, but we already knew that.
I'm literally wearing my Ichiban shirt. Kelsey like converted me to Yakuza.
Okay, sorry, I'm not a pick-me for Kelsey. Okay,
I'm a proud pick-me for Kelsey Lewin. Don't say that derogatorily. Final question, Kelsey. Would you recommend people play the first one first, The Seven Mysteries of Hanjo, or could they just jump into this one?
So what's really funny is that the game tells you should, and it in fact even like it asks you at the beginning, like, have you played this one? And because it had been quite a while, and I really truly did not remember all of the stuff in it, I said no, and the like narrator called me out and was like, because I assume, they can just see my Switch history and see that I have played it. And they're like, pretty sure I've seen you before, but okay, whatever you say, dude.
Do you think it really does that? Because like I haven't heard of a game doing that since like Metal Gear Solid. Like
that's what I thought of, but I was like, that's a dated reference. Is there? Surely other people have done this, but maybe not. Yeah. I don't know. I'll
have to try it. When I put it up, I'll say no, and I'll let you know what it says, because I definitely did not touch the original one. So.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he just kind of says that to everybody and is like, I really thought I've seen you before, and it's just a silly thing.
And you feel gaslit into feeling special. Like
yeah,
he's calling you
but
out.
I was like, I was like, It's not that I forgot you. It's that I'm pretty sure if you're going to quiz me on the story, I'm not going to be able to tell you. I don't remember. I really did like the first one. It is substantially scarier. This one has creepy moments. There's definitely a little bit in there, but it is like, you guys were saying Resident Evil is baby's first horror. Nah, this is if you're a true baby. It's not scary. This one, The Mermaid's Curse, is not scary. It's just creepy. It just has some creepy stuff in it. But the first one, I was definitely afraid. But I also, please take that with the grain of salt that I am a big baby. So
noted.
I'm also a baby.
Thank you, Big Baby Llewyn, for coming on our show and telling us about this new game.
Welcome.
Paranormasight, The Mermaid's Curse. It came out February 19th. Kelsey, you are going to Comic-Con next week, so you have to leave us early today and go prepare.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
cool,
gonna
though.
Prepare some stuff.
That's a cool reason to go leave the show early. I'll allow it.
Ben would never let me do this. Thanks for being a cool boss.
No worries, girl. You're getting a raise too. Just clap out of here and you'll see it in your bank.
Oh my gosh. Best day ever.
Bye, Kelsey.
Bye.
It's a clap. All right. We're back now with Jeffem's latest little find. His latest little find, insider trading. What are you, Martha Stewart? Jeffem, what's this game?
It's the second stock trading roguelike of the year. First
but
being
isn't
Space
the baby
Warlord one. Baby Simulator.
I was thinking about the baby one.
New trend alert.
Yeah, this one is, I guess, closer to the stock market. They really only just use the stock market as like you're trying to get things to go low or high and sell, when you're supposed to. What makes this one interesting though is it's much more strategy. It's all kind of turn-based. It's really just a simple kind of concept for a deck building game where essentially you're making a pool of cards, and every card is either just going to make the price move up or the price move down for the stock that you're supposedly trading. And so like on any given day, you're trying to get to a certain, score, Balatro-esque score after like 5 days of trading, because it's not open on the weekend. Obviously they have to be realistic about that.
They have to.
But so any given day they'll draw 8 cards and they put them down at the bottom in a random order. And then you're choosing if you want to buy that day, at which point it's just going to spend all your money and buy as many shares as it can. And then at the end of the day, it's going to sell it. And the day is basically just going through and triggering each card in a row. And it will move up or down based on what those cards do. Or you can, if the cards are going to be bad, you can just choose to pass on that day. And you're not going to do anything. You get coins that you can buy new cards and new perks and things like that. And so it's a very simple premise in that way. But what makes it really interesting and worth checking out if you like deck builders is like there's this push-pull where you want a deck that is both simultaneously good but also a deck that's simultaneously bad. Because the first thing that you think is like, okay, well I'm going to cull out the bad cards, which are the red cards that make the stock go down, and I'm just going to get green ones, and then I'm going to buy every day, and whatever I spend on it, the price is still going to go up and it's going to turn out fine. But the thing is, like, you have to go through like 6 weeks during a full run. And when you get to the end of a week, they take away all your money and you start at $1,000 again. And so the problem quickly becomes, and they warn you, and I still fell for it. I still screwed it up on the first time that I played. They warn you that like, if you keep jacking up the price, you're going to get to the next week, and the price of a stock is going to be like $500, and you're only be able to buy 2 of them, and then you're going to be hosed because like you're just not going to be able to. And if you keep going that way, it's going to be over 1,000. You're not going to be able to buy any shares, and you're just going to price yourself out of it. So what you have to end up doing is like, you want to tank the stock most days. You want to get as many red cards, and you put them out. And there's manipulation for all these. Like you can trade out different cards, and you can shift them around like the order that they're going. It costs you a resource, but you're constantly like manipulating. You're doing the insider trading aspect of like getting the layout the way that you want it for that day. But ideally, like you want several red days to bring the price down as low as you possibly
You're purposefully
can.
crashing
to like
the market.
$5, yeah. So you could buy like 5,000 shares, and then on like the last day or maybe 2 days of the market before you have this big cash deadline that you have to hit, like you want to get all your green cards out there and like jack that price up as much as you can, and then but then you have to still like so you're balancing like buffing it up and then bringing it down, and like it is like completely unwieldy as far as deck building games go. Like most deck building games, the actual like the makeup of your deck usually, and maybe I'm just a bad player, but it isn't always like life or death, you know, like you usually just throw in more powerful cards and you can kind of figure it out. And here it's like you need a really even mix of good cards and bad cards that will bring it up or bring it down when you want it to go either way. And you kind of you'll make more and more of the currency, which is still cash, which is confusing, but like you get more and more coins, which you can then spend on shuffling things out on any given day, like discarding them and then they get replaced, and like moving around the order of different cards. And the cards get more and more complicated in terms of like this what they're doing. It's not just boosting the price or lowering it. It'll affect like other cards and multiply other cards and do all those kind of things. So it has like all of kind of the basic deck building stuff. But what made it different and what made it worthy of bringing up and boring people with another roguelike recommendation is like I haven't played one where you want really good things to be happening from your deck, but also really bad things, and it balances that in a really interesting and unique way that I haven't seen in other games. So.
And you take little
definitely
pills?
One worth checking out.
What do the pills do?
Yeah. The pills are basically like one-time use. They're kind of like tarot cards in Balatro, where it will be okay, like you trigger this and you'll remove like the first 5 cards in the row from your deck. And so like you'll shuffle things around and spend a bunch of money doing that, and then pop that and get rid of, just another way to cull cards and do a bunch of different stuff. But it's really interesting. It, very stark, like retro aesthetic to it, which I do like. And I do think,
the UI goes hard. It looks very good.
Yeah. It's one of the games that I'm glad that a lot of other indie roguelikes, the second thing that they took from Balatro was you got to have the juice and make everything look really good and satisfying. And this is
and be like clocky when things get placed and stuff like that too. It seems like this has that as well. Is this just a trailer editing thing? But I noticed in the trailer, your queued cards would do their little clocky sound in time with the music. Does that happen in the game, or is that just a good trailer editing? Because if it does that to the music,
that's just a good trailer. That's a good trailer. I don't even honestly remember music. Maybe there's music.
Oh, no,
I'm sure there must be some kind of music, but
just zonked out the Steam Deck.
Yeah, I was just sweating over the next deadline that I had to hit, and trying to figure out how I was going to crash the market.
And what are the like in the trailer? It showed like characters you're fighting against or something.
There are characters that
they're like also manipulating the market, or
I think you like the character that you play as. You unlock different characters that I think have different starting, like abilities or whatnot.
So you're playing as them kind of thing. Gotcha.
Yeah. But it's cool. It's an interesting one. It's hard to kind of wrap your head around that, but I feel like it's the kind of game that maybe it will make me better overall at deck building if I can.
I thought you were going to say the stock market. I was like, wait.
Probably not. I don't think you can, manipulate the stock market as easily as in this one. Check it out.
Is it make you want to learn about the stock market in real life, or is it just it's just for fun? It's just funny.
This and the baby one,
the baby
space
one.
Baby trading ones. It's like it's very surface level in terms of buy when it's low, sell when it's high. They sometimes have the concept of shorting stocks in there, but like it's not like the real stock market's just gambling anyway, and and none of them have like these games are actually less gambling than the actual stock market is.
The finance bros are typing in the comments
because you can actually manipulate it here. So
Jeff said that it's just gambling, but actually it's different.
Yeah.
If you had to pick between this and the baby one, just because they're so stock market.
Yeah, I think this one is going to have more legs in terms of actual strategy and deck building. The other one took place in real time, and so you were just trying to like guess basically when to like spam the button to sell everything or buy everything. And it is a fun and also like very unique and different, unlike any other roguelike that I've ever played, but it feels a little more gimmicky and doesn't have the legs that I feel like this one would in terms of actual deck building strategy kind of stuff in there.
Cool. Can I ask an impossible question, Jeffem?
Yeah.
What is the next hot trend in the roguelike genre?
There was a Steam Deck one that I didn't get to called Prime Monster, I think, which is like a political one where I guess you're like setting up votes. I feel like voting. I want voting roguelikes to become a trend.
But yeah, like home. I think I need to wait a little bit.
They've done solitaire, they've done blackjack, they've done roulette. It's like any kind of parlor game, any kind of the dog one, the Suica one. It's like they're really cramming it into everything. And even sometimes when I go to the Steam store, I'm like, that's too much. Come on. Like I am your audience and you've gone too far. But
what makes it like too far to you versus like not? You don't have to name it specific if you don't want to be, mean.
I think the too far thing, I don't know if it's like the specific genre that they're kind of shoehorning into it, but it's when they shoehorn something in and it feels like there's nothing else there other than I took the gimmick of like tic-tac-toe or whatever and put it into a roguelike, and I can already tell just like looking at the trailer, like you took the multiplication of Balatro and that's as far as you thought this through.
Yeah.
And that's
because it's all X's. It's like, all right, taking it too far.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's a little much even for me. I apologize that I'm always bringing more of these, but like, when something does something legitimately,
I'm sorry
that
we didn't make
like
that clear. That's our failing.
No. It's not. It's my own sickness.
I can't keep up with all of these.
I'm always just happy. Together? I'm happy when someone else finds one. That's the nice thing about casting a wide net is everybody gets caught in it at least once or twice.
Slay the Spire's coming back, baby. Ones. I'll be there.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm still playing a lot of Cinecross. That's mine.
Yep.
What's so fascinating about this gender is there's a new polished looking one every week.
Oh my God. There's like 100 new polished ones every week.
And it's not just like, like they look like they've been in the workings for at least a couple years. Like, and there's one a week. Yeah. At least. It's just crazy.
And the other side of that's scary is you'll look at ones that are polished and then you'll look at like the reviews on Steam and it will have like 6 reviews and it's like, oh my God, like you put so much effort into this and it seems like a very good game and it's just we're so oversaturated with indies that it's hard out there.
That's why they need you, Jeff, to speak your truth on the MinnMax Show podcast about the really good ones.
Yeah, I'll have to try and stream that one at some point. That would be a fun one.
It was Insider Trading. It came out February 18th, only on PC, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm sorry. This next ad connection thing's really bad. Do you guys forgive me in advance?
Always.
No.
Well.
Maybe.
Okay, I'll take the maybe. I'll take the maybe.
I'll be non-committal, yep.
You know what kind of sounds like Haley? Huel. Wow.
You're right.
I'll take it. I like it.
What
it's
the hell? Good. That reminds me. We have to thank one of our supporters, Huel, today. And you know what? I wish I had a freaking personal story about Huel, but this is almost a compliment in disguise, but I've never tried it. because Ben Hansen hogs it all. I don't think anyone else at MinnMax has tried any, because
that is true. No.
When it ships to Ben's house, he hogs it all and
chugs it all down in one day.
Literally.
I don't think he even has it available to us when we go to the studio periodically. No. It's not in the fridge there waiting
drinks
for us.
Them all. It eats them all. It's out. Yeah, drinks it all. So, Huel says, this is the classic time of year where people are trying to reach their goals, and they think that he will be a perfect companion product for people trying to better themselves in 2026. And I mean, I relate to this. They say Huel's for people who stop in the middle of the day and think, whoops, I forgot to eat. I don't know about you guys, but I'll start work. I'll drink a Red Bull of all things. My heart is probably, I literally have been drinking one while we're talking. And then at 4 p.m., I'm like, I have not eaten a piece of food. So I would love some Huel if Ben didn't hog it all. And Ben even wrote to me and gave me a little excerpt on his experience with Huel. This is from Ben Hansen. If I could have packed my vacation luggage full of them, I would have. I'm trying to read his cadence.
I like it.
That's really nice. I like that.
Yeah. I have dreams of filling all my airplane-sized bottles with Huel. Ben, we already know you don't bring shampoo to the airport. You use the hotels once, so you're lying. And just chugging it throughout the flight, making sure my pilot is well stocked up on vitamins and protein by rolling them into the cockpit, says Ben. Thank you, Ben. Good. Also, have you guys noticed
and they would love that on the airplane, I'm sure.
They would.
Yeah.
They would. They would probably cut the cost of flights in half if they could have some sweet Huel in the cockpit. And also, have you guys noticed that protein is like really big right now? Protein everything. Got to get your protein in.
So hot right now.
So hot right now. Huel covers this with its Black Edition ready-to-drink meal with 35 grams of protein that costs less than $5 and keeps you full. And then they have Black Edition powder, which you blend like a smoothie or shake with water, and it gives you 40 grams of protein in just one drink. So Huel says, Get Huel today with the exclusive offer of 15% off online with the code MinnMax at Huel.com/MinnMax. New customers only. Thank you to Huel for partnering and supporting our show. And maybe one day Ben will let us try it. Let's hope.
Let's hope.
All right. It's a very special time of year. It's Steam Next Fest, where all the pretty demos come up on Steam. And it's a perfect time of year for this, because I don't know about you guys, like Resident Evil, we just were talking about, but I've been just kind of playing older games right now, so I kind of am excited to look forward to newer stuff that's coming out in the future. So all of us have played a ton of these demos, and I have them all written out right here. So why don't we start with, I'm going to call on us one by one. Let's do Janet. Tell me about Croak. First. Because Croak looks adorable.
Oh my God, that's literally the one I was going to pick first. Okay, perfect.
Croak looks adorable.
So, yeah, Croak, I actually had initially played this at a PAX either 1 or 2 years ago. And this was like one of my standouts then. And I saw it had a Next Fest demo. So I wanted to highlight that if people hadn't tried it before. But Croak is a 2D platformer. It has a really gorgeous cartoon art style. You play as a little like Prince Frog. He has a little crown, a little cape. And he's very round, which is important to me because I love a round little guy. So great like look, but all that really matters in a platformer is the feel. I've played things that look frankly fairly ugly in the platforming landscape and been like, yeah, but the jumps are really good because that's all that really matters at the end of the day. And this has that. It is a bit I guess I would call it a precision platformer a little bit. It's not like
giving
wildly
Celeste a little bit.
It's kind of like it has a lot of environmental hazards. So I guess that, admittedly, Sewer Meat Boy and Celeste kind of are the big ones that come to mind for that. I don't think it's as wild as that. And the big shtick here for the mechanics is that you use your tongue to latch onto like walls and objects to kind of propel you. So there can be a little bit of sort of bouncing around between walls or like bouncing off of things to like float yourself down. And that's kind of the big thing that makes it special, as well as maybe like some fun other environmental integrations. They have like this cool moment. I forget if it's in this demo or in just what I played at PAX or if it's the same difference, but where you like touch a snowflake and then you're like stuck in an ice block, which seems like a negative, but there's a portion in it where you need that to slide against like across spikes. Okay. So they have like some fun plays on expectations in that regard. But yeah, looks great, controls great. This has definitely been high on my radar for a while as like a platformer to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, I was looking up the studio. They're Canadian based, woo, Woodrunner Games. And a lot of their animators, like my first thought was like, wow, this reminds me of Cuphead. And yeah, their animators worked on Cuphead. So
nice.
There's, people from that talent. Also some animators from Rick and Morty as well. I don't know if I necessarily see that, but it's just interesting to note. Apparently everything in this game is hand drawn, which is like, I love that Cuphead is inspiring that sort of turn in these sort of experiences of, let's just make everything look so good. Because, I'm not the best at platforming, but we talked about this in our Metrovania episode of Pew Pew Bang. Like Janet tasked me with playing I don't know why I wanted to say Big Animal, Animal Well, and
Big Animal.
Big Animal.
Well, it is big mode. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Kyle. That's why my brain didn't work. And I just I'm not really normally attracted to those kind of platforming type of experience, but if the art aesthetic is really good, I'll put in like triple the amount of time I normally would. And this gives like that kind of really thoughtful hand-drawn animation style that makes me want to at least give it a try. But then I see some of the platforming and I'm like, is this really good art style just tricking me? And then I'm gonna get really frustrated and be really bad at this. Is it really hard?
So
maybe
some of the moments
it wasn't at first,
in that trailer
they look hard.
Look rough, but
well, I guess it is a little hard. I have a hard time, I guess, being more realistic in how hard a platformer is because I'm very platformer pilled. So I'm like, this isn't that hard. And then a regular person is like, this is very challenging. So maybe it is a little difficult, but I do think it does the, kind of screen style difficulty. The camera does kind of follow you a bit. So it's not complete. This is the screen. This is the next screen. But the challenges are in like small bursts. And I feel like it doesn't look like it's too wild. I do think it lives somewhere in the middle where it seems harder than a base Mario experience is without going for like optional stuff, but easier than like the hellscape of like Celeste or Super Meat Boy. Again, Celeste has all those accessibility options, which is cool. And I wish more games did that. But I think it's at least worth the try. And something that was really fun when I played it initially at PAX was at their station, they had a like leaderboard, like a whiteboard of like who could do the demo the fastest.
Oh, that's fun.
So it also just kind of invigorated the like excitement to see how quickly you can like get through stuff. But it also was like something that did feel like very achievable, at least like in that slice of the game where it's not, again, a wild hellscape, but it's like I think the way they layer the environment lends itself to like zipping around where it's like you can feel really cool even though all you did was like jump twice because of the way they're kind of adding like the mechanics to, do the bouncing. Like it's a very bouncy kind of look and feel to it. But I also like that this game has a beautiful art style, but also feels like there's a differentiation between the foreground and the background. Because sometimes I feel like another game that I'm going to talk about later, I'm forgetting it, the Eternal Life of Goldman is like way more beautiful than even this, but it's almost so beautiful that I'm like, I kind of don't know what I'm looking at because it kind of all looks the same. Like I think Croak does a good job at the foreground's distinct from the background, and they sort of make the platforms more, generic or simple. But I think that's in service of having like visual clarity to a game like this that's leaning more in the precision platformer realm versus the like casual, like experiential platformer where it's like about just getting through the environment, not about that being difficult.
Cool. It just says coming soon, so we don't know when Croak will be out, but it's going to be on PC, so we'll have to keep an eye on it. Speaking of good art style, Kyle, you played the Replaced demo?
Yeah,
that
just
game looks insane.
Drop it's cleaner.
Replaced, okay.
Replaced, but it's it's one I've been keeping an eye on. It looks cool. It's like sort of cyberpunk pixel art,
Blade Runner vibe,
like HD 2D kind of idea, right? Of like a 3D sort of environment, but like layered pixel art. It looks great. But the thing that surprised me playing the demo was that it is very like inside Limbo, very play dead sort of mood and inspiration. And then occasionally you get into these combat scenarios, which are mechanically pulling from Arkham, like the Batman Arkham games, in a much more basic version of it, where it's really just about like you get a really big flashy counter warning and you can press that button, and if you do enough counters you can instant kill one of the guys that you're like fighting against. But it's like it's a game that I've been optimistic about just because it looks great, but playing it was like one of those like, oh, I don't want this demo to end. Like this is like my kind of game, just like creepy cinematic platformer with like really satisfying combat. I was really enamored with Replaced. I am very excited for this one. Absolutely.
The art style goes so hard, like the lighting of everything reflecting off the water. Some things are pixely looking, and then others in the background are hyper realistic, like a crane or something. I don't know how they do this trickery, but it just makes everything look like. Whenever it's 2.5D, I'm like, they've come up with all the art styles there ever can be for 2.5D, and then every new one, I'm like, what? They did it again! It looks insane. I don't know how they keep doing this.
Yeah, it's like tilt focus. It's like the way they like put like the foreground and background out of focus and things like that. It looks amazing. Yeah, and I guess the question mark for me is like if I will find the narrative interesting. It's like you're playing like an amnesiac who's like, I don't know. I don't even know what he's trying to do exactly. But I will say in this genre, I don't really necessarily need like dialogue. I just like mood and sort of like tone. And this looks like it will have a proper narrative, which could be great. I have no idea. But that's like the one thing that I'm like, we'll see. But everything else I was like immediately enamored with. Absolutely.
Yeah, I looked up a bit of the story. And it says an AI trapped in a human body against its will. So it's like struggling with human emotion for the first time and getting mad about it and trying to just navigate the world. It's a alternate 1980s America, but it's like if a nuclear apocalypse happened in the night, prior to the 1980s. Very cool. It's just the look of it alone. I'm going to play it. The publisher also published Planet Atlanta, which is another one of those 2.5D. How does it look this good kind of games? Yeah. So I'm trusting
that. That has a demo too, which I played, which was super solid.
For two, right?
Yeah. Replaced is definitely the one that I was like, give me this right now. Like, I want this right now.
I'm excited for that one. Replaced. Does that have a release date? Oh, April 14th, 2026 on PC and Xbox. Jeff, you and I both played Titanium Court.
Yeah.
I'm curious if you like this game.
I did. I played it a couple months back. We got early codes for the demo, and it's I don't like match 3 games, but this one had some interesting twists on it that made it really interesting, and just like a bonkers kind of presentation to it that is really fun and cool.
Yeah, it's by AP Thompson, who worked on Consume Me, the game we all adored last year, one of the co-developers of that game. And I was looking up their previous works, and they have another game, Fortune 499, that looks very similar to this, but this is like the more polished experience, I guess. So it's almost kind of like this is like a built-on game from a previous experience. And I really liked this game. I wasn't expecting it because I was like, this looks, sometimes things look so complicated that you feel dumb before you even start playing. Like I was kind of getting that energy.
That's exactly what I felt looking at.
Yeah, there was this game we're talking about, Insider Trading, I think it was called. Yeah, just not a moment ago.
It gives that, but it has this like underlying charm where the person who's teaching you the tutorial is fourth wall breaking. Like they say at one point, I wrote this down, like you're a queen and you're running this kingdom and everyone's talking to you of like, how do we figure what to do next? And then the tutorial guy will be like, this bar over here tells you what to do next. Like they can't see me. Like, don't worry, I'm just talking to you right now. And they said their religion forbids them to talk about the user interface, so they won't ever explain anything and like stuff like that. So they're living in this world they don't really understand it's a game, but the goal is you're trying to move your kingdom up these little match 3 patches, and you get resources if you match 3 certain things. Like if you match 3 water, you get water to your kingdom. Grain, you get food sent over. Wood, you get wood. And then those let you build little armies during the like low tide period, I think it is. So then once you end your match 3 experience, you have to look around and see, did I just leave a bunch of neighboring kingdoms too close to me? Because there'll be a period where they start to fight you. So you'll have to think about how you want your match 3 board to end by the time low tide comes up, while at the same time trying to get as many resources as possible. And that sounded really intimidating, but it introduces a bunch of almost kind of like get out of jail free card abilities that aren't that expensive and stuff. So it's not the hardest thing in the world. Like there was one where I literally paid 5 coins to teleport anywhere on the map. Like a little helicopter showed up. So I like hid behind a bunch of mountains that were in the top left of the thing. I was like, oh my God, I'm safe. I thought I was going to die. So there's a lot of building around to make it not a totally like, this is so hard sort of experience.
Yeah. I don't typically like match 3 games, and I don't like real-time strategy games, which is what the warring part kind of feels like a very light version of that. But they both worked much better for me in this version than I ever would have guessed. I probably wouldn't pick up a game if I just heard those were the genres that they were pulling from. But I do like that. I like the like having the match 3 kind of augmented by like, I'm not just looking for the biggest combo. Like, I need water right now, so I'm going to match these 3 rivers over here, and that's going to give me the water resource that I need to build another farmer or whatever. It's a super interesting kind of idea to try and manipulate a match 3 into a specific board state that's going to be favorable for you. Is a cool idea.
And all this fun stuff happens. Like, if you build a lot of military bases and they go out and they start destroying cities, like whenever they destroy a city, a little picture of a guy hitting a home run comes up and it's like, pshoo, as if you just hit a home run. Or like, there's like all these little things that hop up, like a dog catching a frisbee. Like when you do something good, it's like, yeah, and like the dog catches the frisbee. You're kind of like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just, there's so much unique tone to this that I don't expect. It's all over the place, which makes it more fun. And every time you die, a glass of wine fills up a little bit more, and then you can kind of get they call them comfort abilities, which makes the next run a little bit easier. There's not a lot of punishment for quote unquote losing. Yeah, it's kind of just like, oh, you relax and have a drink of wine and you'll try again next time. And then the next time you start up, it's a little bit easier. You don't even start further back. I really could find in the demo, Jeff. I don't know about you. I feel like I just kind of kept going even though I died. So it wasn't really punishment either.
Did you guys play You Must Build a Boat? Did you play that one, Jeff?
No.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
The 10. Yeah. Is it those kind of vibes? Because I love You Must Build a Boat. That's like one of my I always say that's my favorite mobile game of all time, like period.
I'm trying to remember if You Must Build a Boat had it where you drag a line through resources and then collect them all.
No, it was match 3.
It was just straight match 3. Yeah. Like this is, I would say check it out regardless. It feels like no other match 3 game that I've ever played, just because like your overarching goal is so different from what it usually is in those kind of games.
There's like English lit roped into it too. Like if you're somebody who's into English lit, like that one of the guys who helps you is named Puck, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is just a Midsummer's Night Dream. Okay, I get, like, there's that kind of writing in it too, where I'm like, oh, this guy has an English degree. That's kind of fun. You can just kind of tell that that's the angle that a lot of it's writing up. And the music's really good when you're fighting. There's this little song that happens, and every time I'm like, yeah. I don't know. It's a very fun, unique package, and something that's, I don't know, I've never experienced this. You guys have been in games media longer than me, but the way that I got the demo for this code was I had to leave an emoji on a specific thing on a Discord, and then it let me into the back end where I could get the demo code. Because this was before Next Fest when I got the code that way. They made a custom thing on their Discord where it said, go here and leave a baseball emoji. And so I went to this channel where there was nothing, and I found this one place and I hit a baseball emoji on it and immediately deleted it so that someone couldn't see I just did that. And then it sent me to the other area of the thing where I could get access to the demo. And I was like, what the? So it even felt like a little game to get the demo.
Marketing GDC talk right now on like how that's cool though. And that does sound like a creative kind of unique angle for trying to, get visibility. I think even just the fact that like I've been dragging my feet on this because admittedly I keep being intimidated by it. And every time I hear it, I get a little bit more sold. So I'm glad that we've like kind of gone over this a good amount of times on the show. But I think them sending the demo out early, and I think it felt like they made a really like concentrated effort to really find people that they thought would resonate with the game. And I think that definitely I've seen conversations online sparking of like people singing this game's praises as the demo's getting like released. I mean, it's kind of what we're doing now as well. So it's just, I think that's also seemingly been working for them a lot. Like this is definitely getting a big buzz in indie circles.
It is. I think it's interesting coming right off of Consume Me doing so well too. It's like, oh, it's this other person from Consume. I'm sure that just helps because that game's so great. And then Fellow Traveler is the publisher, which, Citizen Sleeper, 1,000 Times Resist, all those other kind of games that we talk about a lot.
I know they're seriously like a really good publisher. I need to kind of like lock in and pay more attention to them specifically. Like I followed them for a long time, but I think a lot of times when we talk about the great indie publishers, they don't get brought up, but they probably really should, alongside like Devolver and other places.
They have a lot of heaters. It's true. It just says coming soon for Titanium Court and just PC as far as I can see. But that one's pretty one to look out for. The demo alone, I put like 2 hours into it. It's a really long demo. So I recommend it. One that I played that I don't know if any of y'all played was called Waxheads, which I think I saw this in a Wholesome Direct a while ago, but you work at a vinyl shop. It's almost, I guess the easiest way to qualify it is it's a puzzle game where you recommend vinyls to people and they come in and they'll say things to you, but you also have to like look at their outfit and notice things about them. And like these kind of games are always better explained with like anecdotes, but like this dad came in and he was holding a million things and he was stressed out and his kids were running around and he was just like, oh my God, he's like, can you recommend a vinyl that's like just for me? And I was looking at his hands and he had a pan in his hands that was like for cooking eggs. And I was like, huh. And so I didn't really know what to pick. And I was like reading the back of a bunch of vinyls and like looking at the song titles. And you can also listen to the vinyls if you want to figure out like, I want something with a lot of jazzy notes or whatever. You can like listen and be like, this one's kind of jazzy. And I recommended one that just had an egg on the front of the vinyl because I was like, he's holding a pan. Maybe he'll like it. And he clocked me so hard. He goes, did you literally just give me this because I'm holding a freaking pan? He's like, how? Like, oh my God, that's so rude. And he like hated my recommendation. It was like bad recommendation. And I was like, oh no. And I felt like, and immediately when he leaves the store, I was like, come back. I want to try again. Like I felt so bad. And then there was another girl who goes, I want the new Mimi vinyl. I'm the biggest Mimi fan of all time, and I just didn't take my time. It's like such a thing I would do in real retail where I looked and I saw a Mimi vinyl and I grabbed it, and if I had taken 2 seconds there was a vinyl under it called Still Mimi. So that was the newer one because it's called Still Mimi. It's her second album. And so I gave her the Mimi one. She goes, I literally already own this whatever, and like left the store. And I was like, I'm freaking up, like, oh no. It was like
the shelf's going
harder.
under and Haley's around. This is crazy.
But it's fun. Like they keep adding more and more vinyls, and then you have your break and you can like put the music on in the in the break room so you can remember kind of what the vibes of the songs are. It's all fake bands. There'll be characters that come and talk to you, and then you have to remember that. Like one guy came in and was like, you really don't keep the local stuff up for very long. Like Bad Toe was only up on there for like 1 day. And then 10 guests later, he was like, what local stuff do you have? And I was like, oh, Bad Toe is local because that guy told me that. Like you start to learn about the local
that's fun
vinyl scene and stuff. Like it's not just really basic, like I want something that's jazz. And then you pick the one with the saxophone on it. There'll be like little things that you have to triple check that you're picking the right vinyl. And there's like an underlying story that's happening in the back end about a band that broke up back in the day and all that kind of stuff. But I was really impressed with I thought I was kind of, not going to lie, I thought I was going to breeze through it and just pick all the right vinyls. And I got like 50% of them wrong. And I was like, damn, I'm bad at this. It was like, maybe you want to try harder and keep playing. So I'm excited to try more. Yeah, I really liked it. It was very fun.
I'm looking at the trailer and like the screenshots. There's like a piece of paper that says band with like customer. Is that like does it almost have like a Papers, Please-y like layer to it? Like, are you also managing like is there anything else you're managing besides just like a customer has an order and you're giving them a vinyl?
Yeah, there's little mini games-ish kind of thing. Like one guy comes in and wants you to make his band poster and they give you a bunch of cutouts and you can just turn your brain off and make something pretty on a blank piece of white paper. There's another where you're in the staff room. They're like, can you organize all the papers so they fit right? And it's literally just a puzzle. And I do a quick little puzzle. So it's not just the same of like pick and choose every time. Like that's majority of it. I would say that's 85% of it. But then they have these other little more simplified puzzles sort of scattered through in. And then a lot of scenes are just people talking, like people, I'm taking a smoke break and you're like, ugh, help me at the front. Like it's like actually kind of realistic a little bit, but the
you
writing's
took this job
good.
Really seriously, Haley. Like you're stressed talking about that.
I was stressed out. Like
Haley doesn't need another job at this point. She's got so many already.
Haley's clocking in at Waxheads at night.
I am.
I get it.
That first Mimi thing was the first thing I immediately got it wrong, and I was like, oh no! And I almost really liked that I got the first one wrong. So I'm like, this isn't baby mode. I thought this was going to be easy peasy. It's not. It was fun.
No, that sounds fun. That's one that's been on my radar, but I haven't gotten to the demo or any like preview stuff for it yet. So I'm glad that it seems like it's getting your stamp of approval for the release, which is in May. I think May 5th is when it comes out.
Yeah, May 5th. It's on Xbox, PC, and Mac as well. Shout out to the Mac girlies, because I was one for years. I see you.
I was, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It's a shared trauma bond that I didn't know we had, yeah.
Let's see here, Janet. Bobbles? It kind of looks like how a kid would spell boobs. Bobls. Bobbles?
Yeah, but it's like Bobbles as in bubbles, I think.
Bobbles?
This is I had a mission that I was on the Steam Next Fest, and it was to find platformers. And this is if Jeffem's roguelike genre is booming and bustling and thriving, the platformer genre is quiet and a little sad. Like, it's just, a lot of people don't make a lot of platformers, so it's hard to find, I think, good ones. Bobble stuck out to me because it has like a fun, chill momentum to it. You play as like these little, I don't know if you're supposed to be a cat or like
a fox, maybe?
You have little ears. It has cute little sprite art. It is very like simplistic looking. It kind of looks like, and I mean this not to be rude, but just to give a visual, like, you know how like Fez first looked, and then like the guy went over it 92 times to make it look like it looks like one of those earlier passes where it looks good, but sure, it could look maybe more detailed. But what I like about this is you are basically just interacting with these different bubbles and like jumping on them, but you also have this additional mechanic of being able to produce the bubbles. It's funny that you mentioned Animal Well in this, Haley, because it's like that
the bubble thing in
Animal Well also has a bubble thing.
Yeah.
Bubbles are fun. It's fun to jump on bubbles, it turns out. And Bobbles provides a bit of that fun while having like, it is kind of a very clear platformer in that way. Kind of like how Mario has coins and they're meant to guide you. Like the bubbles are also just like, hey, if you hit all of these, you're going to be able to mostly propel where you need to go. They have some fun things like slopes that you can kind of slide on and build momentum as well. Admittedly, I played this on stream and my controller wasn't registering. I did see that they do have controller support, which thank God.
Okay.
I was playing this thing on mouse and keyboard, and having platformers on mouse and keyboard are really hard. But it looks like it does have controller input. But yeah, it just seems like a fun, breezy, chill time. I don't know how many levels are going to be in the full game, but it does have like set levels and also apparently like a level editor and like optional challenges and all these other things. So it just seems like a good, solid platformer. Like if you like this genre, it can be a little challenging to find stuff that's just like solid and strong. And this feels like it's going to be one of those where I don't think it's necessarily going to, be a big marker within the space, but it was one that stood out. And I had tried a good amount of different platformers. So yeah, Bobbles is definitely added to my wish list. And it's one I recommend you keep an eye out for.
And it has a co-op campaign?
Yeah, apparently. I only
That's
did this
cool.
a single player. I don't know if they had the co-op for the demo that was in there, but I just played it on my own, which sounds sad now, but it's like, oh, I didn't play with anyone. It was just me and my stream.
Your stream counts.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I keep telling my therapist, but
Bobbles coming to PC, and then I actually found they were talking about it on a Reddit thread. They said eventually a Switch port too. I didn't see anything else that confirmed that, but it seemed like the developer in the Reddit AMA, so it's coming to Switch as well, to be announced. Nice. So we don't know when though. Kyle, you and I played a same one, Denshattack. Denshattack. Did you play this at some event too, Janet? I feel like I remember you talking about it. Yeah?
Yeah, Gamescom.
Oh, okay, cool. What do y'all think about Denshattack? I'm already saying it wrong again.
It's crazy. There is to do a little early plug here for the next issue of Game Informer. There was a feature in there where I talked to the devs for a while about Denshattack and where it came from. Basically, it was sort of like my angle talking with them, and I really liked what I played of the demo. It's like crazy Dreamcast vibes, just like lunacy, chaos, Tony Hawk. Like it's a whole lot of things
Sonic
wrapped up into
Rail
one
minigame thing.
Yeah, rhythm games. Like there's like, it's not really music. The music is great, but it's not a rhythm game. But it feels like a rhythm game sometimes in the sense that it's like you have to hit the button at the right time as things are happening on screen. Which I mean, I guess you could say that about any video game. But when you add speed to it, like it just kind of has that rhythm feeling. But yeah, I just like the sort of just chaos of the demo of just like what it's one of those games that it's like where did this even come from, and I like it. It's cool.
What'd you think, Janet?
Yeah, I had talked about this feels like a million years ago, back when I came back from Gamescom, but yeah, it's really fun. It is simple to play also. Like it's not so easy that you won't be like engaged, but if you're like, I'm someone that thought I loved Tony Hawk because I played it on the Game Boy Advance, and then I realized when I grew up that was like a totally different type of Tony Hawk
to go through.
It's like, I was like, I love Tony Hawk. And then they did the remasters or the remix or whatever. I said, oh my God, I can't wait to be back with my friend Tony Hawk. And I was like, oh my God, I'm horrible at this video game. I don't remember this at all. And it's because it's like highly simplified on the GBA. It's like a totally different game, basically. Back when ports were truly different video games. Anyway, to stop sounding 1 million years old, this game is very simple with like its inputs because you are a train, so it's quite literally on rails. You can't really mess up in that sense. Like you are avoiding obstacles like by switching tracks or sometimes like hitting a jump at a certain time. But and I'm sure like things scale as you go with maybe like how many points you need or optional challenges, but you can really just kind of spam stuff and just have a good time. It's a really experiential type of game. It looks incredible and it's just like a fun ride. It kind of it's a little bit more mechanically involved, but it kind of reminds me of how I felt playing Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Yeah, I was thinking
not
that too.
Good because I do love that game to pieces and the music in that game is incredible. But it kind of has elements of that, of like you're gonna go and you're gonna feel like you're quite literally being taken for a ride, but positively when you play this. And that was my experience with it. And I like the ridiculousness of it. You see a lot of that in the trailers already, where it's like you're driving on top of a Ferris wheel and just like really bombastic, stylish stuff with like a really good art look to it.
Yeah, I really liked the look of it and the gameplay and everything. The only thing is my eyes were literally watering playing this game. I was like, oh, like, and I had my glasses on. I was like, do I have my glasses on? It is a lot to look at. It's not even that it's too much. Like I know what's happening at any given time while I'm playing this. It's not like the UI is too clunky or whatever. It's just like so much color. I was literally like, oh my God, my eyes, I'm being blinded slightly. So I had to take a little bit of a break in the middle of the demo and then come back to it. Maybe I'm just getting old.
It's kind of like Cruise and Blast coded in its like chaos, like especially the most recent Cruise and Blast, but it does have that the freneticness that you normally only get in an arcade, which admittedly, like, the nice thing about the arcade is you're there for like 1 second and then you leave, which I did not have that same eyes burning feeling, but I can understand like why someone would, because it is a little like overstimulating. And again, an arcade, you're just like, oh wow, that was fun. And then you walk to another machine, but here it's like next level. And it's a bit much to take in.
And there's a story, so you want to see what happens next. And yeah,
you're going up the ranks as like the train guy. I don't really know. Like it's like you're kind of competing with other people or something, I think is the narrative they're kind of rolling out.
Yeah.
They're all Denshattackers, right? Like people who trick trains and race. Yeah, it's funky, but I like it.
It's very cool. One to watch out for. Let me see when that one's coming out. I think quite soon, if I'm not mistaken. Denshattack. It just says 2026 for now. Coming to PC. Jeff, do you want to tell us about your last two? Payroll in Australia did it?
Yeah, Payroll, we can do real fast because I've already told you guys about a score attack.
Insider trading and Payroll are the video games you're playing.
I know. It's there. I downloaded so many Steam Next Fest demos, and I only had time to play like 4 of them, and I went with Payroll. I made that choice, but this one is. It's going to be, I feel like it's going to be a good kind of intro for kind of just a light roguelike. If you like, or if you don't even know if you like roguelikes, this one is just, you're rolling a bunch of dice and you're putting little symbols on the sides of the different dice, and then you roll them. And the only twist on that formula is that you roll out, like, it rolls out actual 3D, cubes. And then once they stop, for each die, any side that you can see, you can click on, and that's the one that will score for that one.
Okay.
And so it's a weird little twist where like ultimately that makes it so that like most of the time, instead of rolling a die and getting 1 out of 6 chances of getting the thing that you want, like you can usually see about 3 sides of each die that you roll out. And so you have a lot more control over what you're triggering for each of those little things. And then each side is, a cute little emoji basically, and they all do wildly different things. And so you're just building out dice one little side at a time and trying to score big combos and make a bunch of coins, which
I like the physics
explode
of the dice.
out of them every time you do it. So, real short and sweet description for a simple demo that was.
Jeff, when people are going to think that we bully you endlessly offline because of the way you said, you're like, I know you guys hate me, but I'm reading that. Like, I promise we're not saying anything.
I know. I know. It's
about your
not
brand.
you guys.
You don't
it's not you,
not like
me.
your brand.
We love
I do.
Your brand.
It's just so much. It's so much, guys. And each time I have to explain like how these work, I can't just say it's a Metroidvania, and everybody understands what a Metroidvania is going to be, and you can get right to what makes that one special. But this one I gotta explain how to roll dice and crap.
If it makes you feel better, someone who wasn't you also recommended Payroll to me, so it's definitely getting a little bit on the streets. I think the cover art is very eye-catching of just the lone shark who's an actual shark holding the die. And I like the Merge Maestro aesthetic of it. I know it's kind of can be, hot or cold depending on if you like the look of emojis, but I'm basic. I like how emojis look. I don't know.
Yeah.
They feel satisfying to me.
It kind of harkened back to Luck Be a Landlord for me too, in terms of just like very simple sprite art for the different symbols, and then all of them do wildly different things, and that's kind of fun. The other one, Australia did it. Is still a roguelike, but it's
defense?
An interesting kind of tactics one. It's from Rami Ishmael, which I'm sure I'm pronouncing wrong. He, one of the co-founders of Lambir, and it's kind of split into two parts. But they're both kind of weirdly tower defense, I guess is the best way to describe it. You are trying to drive a train through what I'm assuming is Australia, although it's full of crazy bugs and things. So it's
Australia.
Strange, yes, but so like during the tactical part, you'll stop the train and you have little characters that you bring out, basically like mercenaries and whatnot, and they will shoot bugs that are kind of encroaching on the train, and you have to kind of line them up around the side. But what also makes it interesting is that you can merge the characters together and they'll become more powerful, but they'll bring over like the attributes of whatever class that they were. You're kind of merging them into new classes, and then for a level 2-1, you need another level 2-1 to merge. So it seems like they're really building on this idea of like making new and different classes that you're kind of building up, and you have to last a certain number of turns, and then you have to get everybody back on the train and keep the train going. Really? So that part of it was really interesting to me. But then once you're on the train is driving in real time through environments.
I like that.
And all of these other swarms of enemies are attacking it, which seems a little like tower defense. And you can kind of aim all the characters that you still have, assuming you got them back on the train, which I didn't the first time I played it. But during the tutorial, they give you more guys. But so they each have their different types of attacks, and they will kind of automatically attack. But then you can focus them, and you can do kind of power moves. And that part of it looks almost, kind of Vampire Survivors-esque in terms of like hordes attacking. And it was completely unexpected by me. And I don't know if I like it for like the tactics part of the game. It seems to work well, and I have to spend more time with it. But it was just a complete surprise of like, wow, you're merging two completely different genres. But like the characters that you have kind of carry over between the two of them. So it seems like an interesting blend, but also completely different. And I just want to know what Australia did. Dang it. But I guess I'll have to wait to find out.
You'll have to wait. So Payroll's March 2026, and then Australia did it just as coming soon. So I fear you might have to wait longer than you desire, Jeff. Fortunate. Janet, do you want to do your last one? The Eternal Life of Goldman? Yeah. This game looks so pretty.
Yeah.
Can you say the title again? I want The Eternal Life of...
The Eternal Life of Goldman.
Goldman. This might spark your memory when you look at gameplay of it, because it's another one of those everything's hand-drawn games kind of thing. Yeah. It's very pretty looking.
And you're an old man, which is like unique for a game, like an elderly man. Like you have like white hair, you're big like I guess what I call it a weapon. I guess I call it a weapon. Weapon and traversal tool is a little cane. So like those things are kind of quick standouts when you see like demos of it. It controls like fairly well. It's an interesting environment to be moving through. And one interesting stick that I noticed in the demo is your cane is like customizable. So really early they give you specific, they're like, okay, change out like the middle part of it. And it's like, this one will give you more bounce. But sometimes you want less bounce because like maybe they give you a section where you have to jump on the enemy heads, but not high enough that you hit the spikes above you. So they're like, oh, swap out the parts, and you can hot swap on the, when you're actually playing the game on the upper left, they have like the UI of your cane, and with the D-pad, you can quickly like swap the middle section, or like the handle is like another early one they give you. So that stuff's really interesting, I think, and it looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's a fun environment. It seems like it's doing, I like when anyone's doing something different in the space, like as much as like the platformer genre is kind of an underserved market right now, it's also like one of the oldest genres that's kind of out in games, and it's very well like tread ground. So it's rare to feel like, oh, this is like a little fresh and a little different. That being said, I'm not sure how good it'll feel to like if I'm hot swapping often on like the tool set of the cane. I could see that maybe getting a little like less exciting to do and more of a cool idea. And then my other thing that's kind of weird with this, because it looks so gorgeous. It's all anyone ever talks about when they see this game. They're like, wow, it's so beautiful. And it is. But a lot of the environment kind of blends together as like one thing. It's a little harder for me to parse like what's interactable and to predict what the interactions are going to be with an object.
Because like, everything is so detailed, it looks so intentful. That's interesting. That's an interesting problem. Yeah. That's too bad.
And not only that, but like there's not like some type of visual demarcation through like I think you can have an equally beautiful place, but maybe have either like different line work for certain things or like slightly different animation work. Like there's just been there were a couple moments while playing the demo where I felt like I didn't quite know what I was looking at and like what I could or should be doing. Pretty quick solutions, but also I think that genre is one of like you just want to kind of like quickly go left to right, really chill and not have to think about much. That being said, too, maybe it's kind of, doing something a little bit different. I wouldn't say this is a full like puzzle platformer, but it just might be one that you play with a little bit more intentionality than you would typically. And yeah, they have some like really fun stuff with the boss battle, the first little boss encounter or like larger enemy that you fight in the demo, like super early on, like first 10 minutes. You like have to like jump on him, and then when he hits maybe you don't have to jump on him, but he hits a water bowl, and you like pull the back of it with like the hook of your cane, and then eventually like he like explodes open like a piñata. So just like also really unique, weird, creative like creatures and behaviors from the creatures, and that fight also weirdly reminded me of the Matador fight from Luigi's Mansion 3. If you know, you know. So it's like, I don't know. There's like some kind of cool like DNA in this. It's definitely one to watch out for, but maybe it's just the cynic in me. But I'm like, I don't know. I'm not quite sure how all the pieces are going to come together, but it is like a very compelling looking package, and it feels good to move, which are like two of the main key things for like getting you into a platformer. Whether or not it'll carry through with prowess, I don't know, but this is like another heavy on my watch list for like the platformer genre.
Interesting. That's an interesting problem to arise.
My roguelike is the platformer.
It's interesting to hear that like their dedication to making absolutely everything hand-drawn results in complications for the player, like not knowing what you're allowed to jump on because everything looks so good and isn't blending into the background. I've never really thought about that as a potential problem.
Yeah, sometimes overly cohesive design, and it could just be like a me thing, but sometimes overly cohesive design, I feel like, becomes muddy. I had this problem with Ultros, like a Metroidvania that came out like a year or two ago that was like, it's like a like Metroidvania. And I was like, what am I looking at? And also it didn't feel that good, but that was like something that was an issue like for me in a game like that. So yeah, it just depends. I mean, there's also ways to maybe get to know the language of this game specifically, and I do think that can end up working, so we'll see. But yeah, it's a little muddy for me a bit.
Gotcha.
But I'm excited to play more of it. And the demo's really long. It's like 90 minutes.
Nice. These demos have been very gracious. So that's Steam Next Fest, and I thought it was really endearing that every single demo I finished was like, please wish list. Like, oh, of course, little demo, I'll wish. Like, it truly does change things for the devs if you really like their game to wish list it early. If you feel like, I don't really use wish list, just do it. changes how much money they get down the road. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. But there's some really cool games right now on that. That's going until, actually, is it already done? It might have gone until the 23rd.
No, this coming Monday.
Okay.
At the time of us recording.
Cool.
So if you're listening to this, you still have some time.
Nice.
And not all demos, but it's worth just downloading demos if you're interested in them, because sometimes they either like they still work, or also some people just leave their demo up after that. So it's definitely, even if you don't feel like you have a lot of time, it could be worth perusing what's going on at Next Fest.
Awesome. And guess what, guys? I'm not going to ask you how this whole thing operates because I respect you too much. And I'm just going to tell you that this whole thing operates because of Patreon, because we are a Patreon supported outlet, and because of our lovely supporters on patreon.com/MinnMax with 2 N's, we get to do what we get to do. And that leads us, of course, to our beautiful community questions section, because if you support us on Patreon, you can submit questions that we read on the show. And that also brings us to I Am 8-Bit, another company that I am very easily recommending because I have loved I Am 8-Bit for years. I collect video game vinyl. I have like freaking 50 I Am 8-Bit vinyls behind me, tucked away. I love I Am 8-Bit.
And yet you were failing at wax heads.
I was also like getting re-triggered by wax heads.
Okay, well, none of them wanted a video game vinyl. They wanted jazzy things, and that guy just said, give me something I would like. And I'm like, I don't know you. And I gave him an egg, and he was mad at me. But yeah, we want to also thank I Am 8-Bit for supporting MinnMax, because each and every week, isn't it crazy how I've heard Hanson say it so many times? I like kind of know, like, the wonderful people over at I Am 8-Bit, their wonderful online store. Each and every week, they give us a prize for our lovely community question granters to potentially win if we love their question. But I Am 8-Bit also wants us to know about a promotion they're doing for Persona 5 Tactica, their 4LP. And I would really recommend anything Atlas music related. I have like 4 different Atlas records behind me. I don't have this one, but I would really like it. This was that really cute looking tactical game they released in 2023 where all the Persona characters were small and cute, and it was like a little tactical game. And also, just a side note, that game's 70% off on Steam right now. I went and looked at it while I was doing research for this ad read, and I was like, I might actually play that. But I was listening to the music. Revolution in Your Heart sounds just like Beneath the Mask with the same vocals as that main singer. Great song. And the Tactica version of that game has its own version of Beneath the Mask, the best IMO Persona song of all time. So yeah, pre-orders end for that beautiful LP on February 23rd at 9 a.m. PT. And it's the Phantom Thieves colored vinyl. And they ship out Q2 2026. And then the question of our week prize from I Am 8-Bit this week is the Persona 4 Dancing All Night LP. And you can use the code I Am 8-Bit for 10% off all the items in your cart at iam8bit.com. Are you guys ready for community questions?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ready.
Let's do it. This first one I saved. It's not even a question. I just liked it. AED 13 of 14 said, just wanted to tell y'all I watched a show for Jeffem's giggle. Just wanted to start out with that one.
I know you wanted to do it, Jeffem, but you resisted. I
can't.
You can't do it fake now. It'd feel weird.
Yeah, it's a genuine giggle. I can't.
It has to be real.
I can't fake a giggle.
Too bad we don't have Kelsey for this one, because Wajura asks, is playing horror games on a handheld less scary because everything is smaller, or more scary because now the monsters are closer to your face? I think less scary because it's less real if it's small. Yeah. It's not as.
It's not taking
big.
up like your peripheral. It's like shrinking it down. And you can push it away from you easier. You know, you're not locked into a specific. Yeah.
It's easier to run away from it really fast if you really needed to.
Yeah.
You could just flip. That's true. You don't need to run. You could just turn it.
I've played a lot of horror games on like Switch and gosh, I'm sure Game Boy Advance and DS and 3DS and stuff, but I'm trying to think if I've ever been like scared by one, if that makes sense, you know? Like, is there ever, I don't know if I've ever been truly creeped out by like a handheld game. I'm not sure.
I don't know if I've ever played a horror game on handheld that I think about it. I'm either at my PC where I'm sharing the screen with like Sarah or something, or a friend's over, or we're just playing on the TV. Because I
play a lot of the Resident Evil games on Switch because like the ports are all solid. Like 6 randomly is like one of the few that I never finished, and I like will every couple of months will like play one of the campaigns because 6 is split into multiple campaigns, I'll like play through it on Switch. But that's just like an action game. That's not even a horror game.
That's not too scary.
No.
Like, what would be the scariest thing to play on a handheld? PT is pretty scary. That would kind of be... That'd be weird on a handheld. That wouldn't feel right on a handheld.
Yeah. Silent Hill remake.
Yeah.
Silent Hill 2 remake.
So why aren't we doing
I don't know.
This,
You'd really have to like turn out all the lights and sit in a dark room while you're
put your headphones on. I never play games with headphones on though, like outside of sometimes streaming if I have to.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that immersed. Or if like I have to because I have like a work scenario, or like when I go to preview events, obviously there's like headphones, but no, I need to be aware of what's going on around me because I'm scared even when I'm not playing a horror game. So I have to kind of have my head on a swivel.
That's why playing that one time I played in VR is that's interesting. VR is the closest to your eyes it could ever be, but at the same time, the scariest it ever could be as well. Because it's tricking your brain into thinking you're there, but that's different than a Switch.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 7 on PSVR was so... I don't know why I did that. It was like before I really got into expanding my game. I was like, I want to expand my games, and then I played one of the scariest games in VR. I was, why did I start so hot? No, I should have just played it on Switch. It would have been scary. When freaking Mia climbs up the staircase at the very start, I literally took it off, and I was like, God, then I put it back on and kept playing like a freak. I don't know what I was doing. Couldn't tell you. Weird times. Nathan Ryler asks, hey, MinnMax, what are the 3 best Ghibli movies? Kyle, you and I talked about Ghibli with Jacob once for like 2 hours.
Yeah, I don't remember our ranking, but I think my personal ranking, probably number 1 Mononoke. For me, number 2 Nausicaa, and then probably Spirited Away number 3. Although I might put Castle in the Sky above Spirited Away myself, which is probably an unpopular opinion. I'm reading Nausicaa, the manga, finally. I've been threatening to do it for years, but I finally bought the set and I'm making my way through it. So that's my ranking. I don't know how you guys feel.
Spirited Away is my favorite movie of all time. So Spirited Away is number 1.
Mononoke for me. Yeah, like that's my number 1. Yeah. I
think Princess Mononoke is my second. And then Totoro might be my third, just for pure comfy vibes. Oh no, Kiki's Delivery Service is my third. Might even be my second, actually, now I think about it. I think it goes Spirited Away, Kiki, Princess Mononoke.
Kiki's coming to IMAX soon. 4K re-release.
I don't know if I'll get it. I don't know if I'll get it in Canada. We never get good stuff like that.
Sorry.
Damn.
Sorry to bring it up.
That's okay.
I need to watch like more of them because I love Studio Ghibli stuff, but I realized I have barely watched any of them. I've watched like 5. So of the 5 I've watched, I would go Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, Blank Space, because I don't know. Not because the other ones aren't good. Because I watched Princess Mononoke.
Place song.
I watched Princess Mononoke, and I know that's like such a banger for a lot of people, but I feel like I wasn't in a good headspace at the time. I wasn't ready to take it in. It was like on at the dorm. It's like I feel like we were watching it, but it's like I don't know. Yeah, and like Kiki, I feel like I wanted to like more than I did because I love the idea of it, but I don't know if I was that into it. So I plan to do a full like front to back, but I don't know when I'm actually doing that.
I did that last year.
Made no plans to do it.
I watched all of them, and then the only one I've never seen is Grave of the Fireflies, and I refuse. I will never watch.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Okay,
I can't watch
number. It was a question: best or favorite?
What are the 3 best?
Oh, that's probably number 1 then, but it was so genuinely the saddest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. And I've watched a lot of sad stuff. You know, I was also an English major. It's like, oh, how sad is it going to be? And it was genuinely like the most, like that was like so devastating. I was like, I was not ready for that. So yeah, that's number 1, but I'd never want to see that again. Then Spirited Away, and then Howl's Moving Castle.
I love that the best one is when you're like, I will never look at this again. Ever.
No, it's so
sad.
It's so sad. And when I was done watching it, my review on Letterboxd was actually nothing has ever happened to me in my life. And I'm so sorry that I complained about anything that's ever occurred. Like, it's so dark. But it's good.
It's weird rewatching some of them because I was rewatching From Up on Poppy Hill and I remember really liking that one. And then I had completely forgot there's like a pseudo weird incest thing that happens in that movie, like implied. And I was like, oh, like I just the movie's so pretty, I like erased that from my memory of the plot, but I was like, oh, ew. And then immediately bumped it down like a bunch of slots because I just had forgotten that. Only Yesterday is also a slept on one. I love Only Yesterday. It's a great one as well. What about you, Jeffem?
Spirited Away, number one. I think Howl's Moving Castle, number 2 as well. And then I guess probably Mononoke as the third one, which was the first one that I saw, because that one was the one that everybody saw. Yeah, it was through. Like the first one. Yeah.
Yeah. Fun fact I always like to bring up about Howl's Moving Castle is in the book, Howl comes, one of the doors is to our universe. Oh. And he enters our universe and he knows some people here and he sees kids playing video games, and the woman with him who just is traveling with him, who doesn't know what's happening, describes what she thinks she's seeing kids playing a video game. And it's like, she describes it as like spaghetti noodles attaching to like a piece of glass. And the children were like manipulating it. I just loved it. I love that kind of sort of stuff where it's like something I know, but like, a character who doesn't know what it is trying to explain what it is like some of my favorite stuff in the world. I love that.
That's cool.
All right. I think we're all right. Let's just say we're all right. We figured out the three best Ghibli movies. Coxtopher says, "Hello, chaps." I'm reading this British now because they started with L-O. In honor of Haley hosting the Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie releasing, what is everyone's favorite Canadian thing? Mine is probably poutine.
Universal healthcare.
It's pretty good.
Well, that we can appreciate, though.
I can appreciate it. I just don't have it,
Yeah.
It's like
the thing
is going to a friend's house that's more privileged than you, and you're like, wow, I wish we had resources at home. Then go back home.
The thing about the grass is always greener because we have universal healthcare. I'm not doubting that's insanely better, right? But it has extreme problems where it takes like 6 months to get a doctor's appointment because.
Girl, what do you think we got?
Yeah,
I know.
It's the same.
Just saying. There's problems here too, but acknowledge that's. Not having to pay for your healthcare is an insane pull.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. We should steal that.
Imagine waiting and then also being bankrupted by it.
Yeah. But I think my answer right now, Haley, is Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie.
People love it.
I went and saw it and I cannot stop thinking about it. I went with my daughter and she keeps playing the end credits theme every time we're in the car together. We are making plans to go see it again. Cute. And maybe even bring some of her friends. I'm just going to sneak a bunch of teens into this R-rated movie. It's so cool and interesting. It's the first, I was talking to her about it. There's the max spoilers I think you can watch on it with Jacob and them. But it is the first time in years that I have watched a movie whose special effects I genuinely was like, I don't know how they did this. I haven't felt that way about a movie in decades.
With such low budget too, yeah. Yeah,
and it's not even that it's wow, the CGI is amazing. It's genuinely I don't know how they put this thing together. It's crazy. It's so good. Highly recommend. I also like Scott Pilgrim a lot. That's my other answer.
Oh, we love that Scott Pilgrim's a Toronto thing. Canadians love being that's us.
I mean, I remember going to see Scott Pilgrim and it begins with Zelda music, right? Mm-hmm. It's the twin, and I was like, wow, this is they made this for me. And Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie begins with Chrono Trigger music, and I was like, wow, they made this for me.
Oh, nice.
My answer is Haley, obviously.
And now we all look like jerks.
You guys blew it.
Mine's Don't Air Sauce.
My answer is Haley, but I said it louder, so.
There we go. My number 2 is Kids in the Hall.
That's a good one.
Yeah, we have this sauce called Donair sauce. It's more of a thing only in my province. And then every American goes, oh, it's pronounced donor. It's a different thing. I hate when people try to correct me about the thing that originated where I'm from. It's a whole different wrap. It's called Donair. And it's this white sauce, and it shouldn't taste good, but it's delicious. But it's not appealing looking. I'm not going to lie. When you look at it, you go, ew, that doesn't look good. But it slaps on some shawarma meat. Donair. You get a Halifax Donair whenever any of you all ever come to Halifax. That's where I'm taking you. We're going to go get a Donair. And you'll freaking love it. Yeah. Delicious.
I can't wait.
All right. This one's kind of just for me. I snuck it in. I didn't even put it in the list for you guys to thumbs up because I just wanted
Ben.
to say. I know. I'm pulling a Ben. I'm pulling a Joe Schmo says, hello, MinnMax. Question for Haley. What do you think of the new additions to characters to Overwatch? You guys, everyone's playing Overwatch again. All my friends are coming online. I have so many people. We had to not let some people into our 6-stack. It was crazy. Everyone's playing it. But the thing that has kind of made me feel weird is how much of these resurgence of live service games is like, yeah, they added 5 new characters, but everyone's like, it's good again. I'm like, it plays exactly like it did before the new characters were added. It's more of just like the internet wave of positivity about the game is good, so therefore people think the game is good. Do you know what I mean? It's only because it's on everybody's feeds right now that we're like, wait a minute, were we sleeping on Overwatch? Because like, yeah, the gameplay does change when you add new characters, but Overwatch 2 is just... they're doing the exact same stuff they do. They just have 5 new characters. But all of a sudden everyone's like, yeah, they did it. They fixed it. I'm like, I don't know if
it's like impossible to have that take without feeling like a hipster. Like that's always my problem with that, where it's like, damn, no one will know.
I know.
I mean, I thought the main problem with that game was that it had a 2 on it. Like, isn't that the main
like
issue?
Literally, which is how superficial. It's like, they did it. They took away the 2. It's like, if they can admit they had an L with the rebranding of that, because that was such a cluster swear, that it's like, if they could take a step back and go, you're right, is that was enough for people to go, okay, we like you again, almost kind of energy. It's weird how that's more marketing than game development. That's just, let's bow down and take an L and then everyone will like us again. And even though the game is 99% similar than it was last week.
But okay, I'm sorry, I'm not an Overwatch guy. It was 6v6, and then Overwatch 2 was 5v5, and now it's 6v6 again?
They have both. So you can queue for 6v6 or 5v5. They made that change a little while ago.
So that's kind of a significant rollback to something that people liked, right? I mean, and there's stuff there, right? But what you're saying is like it's not a radical reinvention, which is what sort of people like me are sort of getting the perception it is.
Yes,
right?
I think people who aren't clued into it think they just shoved in so much new stuff. It's like a whole new game. It's like, no, they have 5 new characters. That's insane to drop 5 characters at once. Don't get me wrong, but it hasn't changed. The game plays the same. You just have to learn the kits of the new guys. I don't know. It's been a weird thing where I'm like, I feel gaslit that the game's all different now. And I'm like, it's kind of the same, you guys. Do you just like that Blizzard went, sorry, we were dumb, no more 2. Everyone was like, yeah. Just a weird spot to be in. Everyone's coming back and it's like, yeah, this game's great now. I'm like, it's the same. I don't know. I feel crazy. I'm like, it literally plays the same, but okay. Sounds good. Jacob Mazowski says, have you already played your favorite game of all time? I like this question.
Yeah.
You have?
Same. Yeah, I think I have.
Jack and Dexter.
Jack and Dexter. What's yours, Kyle?
It's Ocarina of Time, which I've talked about before, but like that was it was a borderline spiritual experience playing that game. Like me, I'm just looking to recreate the sort of joy I had playing that game. I'm just chasing my childhood in a sense, but like truly like when Link sleeps for 7 years in that game and wakes up and the world has become apocalyptic because Ganondorf has like taken things over. Like that is an experience that just like truly was like, wow, this is what art can do. Like this is how a piece of media can make me feel. And like all the sort of improvements in game design and fidelity and all those things will never sort of unseat that genuinely emotional experience I had sort of losing myself to that game when I was young. And it's like I have plenty of games that I love and adore. And, you know, Breath of the Wild was like a similar experience for me where it was just like this, like, wow, this is insane that they've created this thing. But like, yeah, nothing will ever undo, you know, however old I was, I don't know, 14 or something like that, playing through Ocarina of Time for the first time. And that's fine. I've made peace with that, but I'll still keep chasing that experience with every video game I play.
I know. Is that there's like a dampening for every game you ever will play now forever that it won't be as good.
To a certain degree.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like it's more like if you had a pet, and this is dark, but if you have a pet and then your pet dies and you get another pet, you like love the new pet, but like it's still not like your first one or your childhood one or whatever. Yeah. Like I think it's like any other first love. Like you can, you know, love someone. Again, this is all dark. Like love someone, be married. They could pass away. You could marry again. Doesn't mean you don't still have love or seek love, but like that is what it is. That's why like I don't think it can ever change for me. Like Kyle, do you think it's possible that you could get a different favorite game than ever?
No, I don't think so. Because I mean,
I don't think so either.
I'm a jaded adult now. You know.
Allow me to step in and say,
Mr. Stepper.
I honestly don't
The
know,
baby
but like
stepper.
baby steps actually surpassed all of my childhood nostalgia games, which would have been probably Super Mario World or Link to the Past in previous times. But yeah, now I'm going into life wide open spiritually. Just who knows what next year will bring.
I have a comment on that though. You said it was probably what games did you just name? Super Mario World versus
Link to the Past.
Link to the Past.
So what was your favorite game before Baby Steps?
I don't know. It kind of jumped around between
got you lawyered. You didn't have a favorite game.
You thought Haley was the only attorney.
Your favorite game didn't change. You never had one.
I would like to hire you at my
now.
firm, Janet. This is fantastic.
Wow.
Thank you. I am in desperate need of old money.
I guess. I guess it like, yeah, I guess because it would change in terms of like which one I would pick at any given time. But all I'm saying is I have the childhood nostalgia too. For games that rocked my world when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. Just which of those I would choose on any day is probably not as strong.
So you're already going to jail. Now you're just adding more to the record.
I throw myself on the mercy of the court.
The titanium court. Haley, what's your favorite game?
Nice. Janet, you're on freaking fire right now. What's going on? Your last 5 things you've said have all been insane.
My multiplier is going crazy right now.
Yeah, your insider trading multiplier. So Red Dead Redemption is my favorite game, and I kind of cheat my brain and I lump Red Dead and Red Dead 2 together and I pretend.
Nope, see, she doesn't have a favorite one either, Janet. Yell at her.
No. See, I did. Red Dead 1 was my favorite, and then one day someone was like, you can't, you have to choose between, I think it was Ben. He was like, which one's your favorite, 2 or 1?
Someone Ben.
As he should.
And I was like, I don't want to answer that question. It's one long game in my head, which is wrong. That's wrong. But it's also my brain, so I can say whatever I want. You know what I mean? If someone's going to force me to do
my favorite movie is all 9 Star Wars movies. You
just put them on in a row.
No one has ever said that, Kyle.
Yeah,
if you like Star Wars, you definitely don't like all 9 of them. You fall into one camp at least.
But I felt kind of lucky that while I was playing Red Dead 2, I was in my late 20s at that point. Like I didn't have a nostalgia glasses thing, but I was playing that and I was like, oh, this is like really special and I'm getting crazy feelings from this and I really love it. And it was just convenient that my first favorite game was from the same series and flows into this. So I just lied to my brain and said they're the same thing, and then that I've never reassessed it properly, and I kind of just change back and forth when someone makes me decide. I'll say 1 or 2 depending on the day, but in my heart I know they're just lumped together.
So what is it?
I also changed to favorite game. My favorite game for most of my life was Jak 2, and I changed it to Jak 1 because Jak 1's less painful to play. So I don't know if anyone wants to say anything about that, but yeah, like I think favorite game, like if it's not a clear answer, like you don't have it. Because again, it's like love, like you know and you feel it. And if you're like, oh, I don't know, she seems nice, bro, you don't like her like that, and that's okay, that's fine. It's like it is just a feeling. Like that's like I hate when also people conflate like favorite game with like best games. Like, oh, well, I played this game and it's really good. It's not best game. It's favorite. What do you feel in your bones? Oh, when you're on your dying breath, you could dip into one world one more time. Where are you going? Mm-hmm. And I'm going to Jack and Daxter land. And Kyle's waking up with Link or whatever. And
waking up as an adult,
the mountain or whatever.
Skipping my teenage years.
Kyle is waking up with Link? What is that?
That's what it's like. He said he was asleep and then he woke up or whatever. I've never played Ocarina of Time actually, so.
Oh, I'm sorry to spoil it for you.
You should.
It doesn't. It's been like a million years. Don't worry about it. I'm not worried about it.
It'll be remade soon. Yeah. Supposedly.
We'll see. And then they'll charge me for it. And I'll pay.
And you'll pay.
You'll pay. You'll say thank you.
Thank you, Nintendo.
Nintendo.
There's so many good Zelda games that I need to go back to, and some bad ones that I maybe might go back to also.
I want you to play Twilight Princess so bad.
I know. I don't know if that's one of the good ones or one of the bad ones.
It's my favorite.
I love Twilight Princess.
It's my favorite. That's my second favorite game of all time. Third, if you make me split up Red Dead 1 and 2.
Which we do here.
You love cheating, don't you, Haley? Because you're always like, oh,
I'm a little bit of a cheater.
This is my number 12.
Okay, I'm going to get red for that forever, but I was told it's the 210s, so I prepared my 210s. And whatever. The Last Archer.
I will say I lightly allow you to have both games for the thing. But you probably kind of have to, I think you kind of have to pick one, though. Like, is there not one you, like, feel more in your bones?
No. I've thought about it, like, when I'm trying to fall asleep, I'll be like, Kate, let's pick. And I'll sit there, and that's what I'm thinking of while I try to fall asleep, and I can't do it. I can't think of which one. I love them both.
What if you were hanging on to John and Arthur on like a cliff and you only had the strength to hold on to one of them? Who would you let go of? You just go with them.
Smart. Yeah.
You know,
I would pull them both down with me, put them underneath so I would land on their bodies.
Smart.
Thank you. I love them both. Arthur's the person asking the next question. But Arthur is my favorite protagonist of all time. Which I thought was crazy because I thought John was my favorite and then Arthur walked into town. And I was like, how is this possible that I love him this much?
He said, I've seen your name on our ledger.
Yeah, love that man. The Last Archer, not Arthur, says, I'd love to hear your guys' opinion on this. Are gifts still relevant? Should I be encouraging my millennial group chat to leave them behind? Kyle, you have a daughter. Does she use gifts? Does she think they're cringy? The world needs to know.
I think she does. I will ask her though. I mean, I certainly still like them as like a little short snippet of some pop culture reference that explains an emotion in a funny way. Like I still enjoy them. The thing that I run into, which is like very hipster of me, is like I can never find gifts for like specific scenes from movies that I like that are like important to me, you know, but like yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, maybe it is kind of like maybe the younger generation is done with them. I'm really not sure.
I'm always worried when I use one that like I'm not hip and cool. Well, I use it. I don't know when that started. Like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I definitely use them all the time, but also feel like I am old for using them or carrying. So,
do you know what's the one wiggle room is when I use old Simpsons gifs? I still feel a little bit like girly pop, like I'm in on it. I'm in on the joke. But
yeah,
if
that's
it's
still
like,
hip.
That feels kind of like coming back around the train to like vintage gif or something. Like that's cool. But if I used a gif from like a reality show I don't watch and it's just someone being like and like yelling or whatever just for reaction, that hits more different than something that's really specific and like a perfect reference for what's happening, then that can be okay.
I'm gonna go to like I also feel like does Blue Sky even I guess they do have gifts.
They have gifts, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to scroll and see the last time I used one. You're so cool for not
knowing that, though. You get points for not even knowing.
I think I have used them. I think what I've moved towards, and part of that is like probably societal pressures that I'm not perceiving, but I am like holding within me, is I've moved more towards memes, but like the modern memes. So like when memes first hit the scene, you know, again, I sound a million years old in this episode. When memes first hit the scene, I was, you know, yay high or whatever. I was 3 apples tall. And
we had to use Microsoft Paint to make our memes.
You went to freaking meme like .com and like add the text, generate whatever, right? They used to have like words and now they don't. But so now I just kind of use like modern memes or whatever. But it's also interesting because memes will like be different in different like social circles, that's just internet culture is like real culture where it's, you know, different groups will have different things. Where I was talking to my brother about this of like the memes that are really popular in his space as like a basketball journalist versus like the memes that are popular in my space, which is like gamers who joke about being depressed because also some of us are depressed. So it's like a really specific kind of like, I'm like, oh, the cat who's like crying and holding a gun. It's like, that's really popular. And why is there, he's like, I've never seen this before, you know? So
that's
the last time I used a meme.
Friends with Sarah Pozorski though. She's got some good cat depressed
I love
ones.
that cat gun one though. And I've seen that a lot. The last meme last GIF I used was January 5th, 2026.
Pretty recent.
Yeah. And now I'm looking at this and I'm like, is this funny? Maybe it's not. I thought it was funny. I don't know. So I'll use them. I'll dabble, but I'm more on the meme kick, I think.
I think I'm the same. I'm starting to gravitate more. I actually started making a folder when I see a picture that I'm like, that would be perfect if I ever had to respond to somebody with this
I want to do that, but I get lazy to make the folder.
It's good though.
Which is like so whack. I don't want to make a folder on my phone.
Oh God, my phone just started talking. Here's the latest one I saved. Isn't it perfect? It's very self-referential. It's like a guy in a Mario costume and he lifts up the costume's head and he has a mustache underneath. Like, I'm gonna use
Haley,
this.
I can't see it. There we go. You got it. Okay.
You see him now?
Right.
I got 2 cameras.
Yeah, I like that.
The call's coming from inside the house, like, situation. I'm saving it for that, but I don't have that yet. So I'm just like tucking it away for a rainy day. I've slowly been amassing pictures like that.
Also, to Kyle's complaint, which I relate to that too, of like you want something, but it's like hyper specific from some movie. I feel like the meme format lends itself to that, which like one that is popular and very easily searchable is just the somehow Palpatine returned. Like I use that all the time, like that screenshot. So I feel like those are like where GIFs fail, you can always take a picture and like put some text on.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's the way to go, I guess. That's what we're learning.
Basically, but Kyle, report back for what your daughter says if she thinks we're whack or not.
Yeah. Maybe I'll send her a GIF and be like, am I cool? And I'll let you know what she says.
Well, she's definitely going to say, you're setting us up for failure, Kyle. Come on, you got to do better than that.
No, she thinks I'm cool. She definitely thinks I'm cool. I took her to go see Nirvana, the band, to show the movie.
Does she actually think you're cool? That's really sweet if she thinks you're cool. Okay.
No, she doesn't. Yeah,
I didn't think so.
Are you serious? Of course she doesn't think I'm cool.
I don't know. There's a chance. She's like a nerd, you know? Nerd recognized nerd. I don't know.
No, she's a cool teen now. She's not a nerd anymore, so I'm out.
Nerd is the new cool. Big Bang Theory taught us that.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, like,
there's nothing like the kids think is cooler than Big Bang Theory.
That's all my GIF reactions to Big Bang.
Like, Bazinga into anime is what I mean, right? Like, that's like, to me, anime, that's nerd, you know? It's just a different flavor.
I think that's fallen out of fashion.
Leaving? My God.
No, I'm saying with kids, I think it's like, I don't think anime is cool. I don't know. We'll have a discussion. We'll talk about this. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, we need to like get all of like our like youth culture questions, funnel them through Kyle, who's the only one who has a child that's old enough to have fully formed opinions to some degree.
All right. Do you guys have a favorite question of the week? I can go over them. We got handheld, less scary or more scary. Best Ghibli movies, favorite Canadian thing, my Overwatch thing, but you know, I kind of talked over all of that. It's not very fair. Favorite game of all time.
I like, have you already played your favorite game?
I like
the
that too.
Phrasing. I like that
mostly
phrasing of a question. Because like, yeah. I wasn't going to call that out, but yeah. Because like, you know, you guys, if you go somewhere, or like I went to the dentist earlier this week and they're like, oh, what do you do? And then I was kind of have to sort of awkwardly be like, well, I'm in the video game kind of thing. And the question is always like, oh, what's your favorite video game? You know, it's like the small talk question. But that, I like the phrasing of that, which is like takes favorite video game, the question, but sort of makes you reanalyze it and sort of think about how your emotions as a jaded adult and like what does that mean and like will you ever love anything again? You know, it's like a lot of big questions.
We all learned a little bit about each other with that question. That's always the best question. All right, is that what everyone
learned
agreed?
That Janet's a lawyer.
Janet's joining my firm.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm excited. We
don't do litigation, but we're going to open up a litigation site just for you to go out there
just
and fight in court.
Berate people on podcasts.
Yeah. All right, Jacob Mazowski, you won the prize this week, which of course is the Persona Dancing All Night vinyl, Persona 4. So that'll be shipped right to your house because we love your question. All right. You guys ready for get a load of this? I got the jingle all queued up. Here I go.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Oh, could you guys hear that? I actually don't know if
no.
Was darn it.
I didn't click on it.
Oh, okay, it's fine. Get a load of this. I was thinking the other day about how this is a really interesting thing, and I've never shared it online, but we have a guy who's from Sydney, Nova Scotia. His name is Frankie McDonald, and he just kind of goes on his phone and yells about the weather. Like he'll open his phone and go, I'm Frankie McDonald and I'm here in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Halifax has a huge snowstorm coming up on February 28th. Expect 10 feet of snow, blah, blah, blah. Like that's how he yells it. And he's just been around since I've been a kid. Like he just makes these videos. His YouTube, I've never been to his YouTube, but I went today to look. Has like over 300,000 people on it. He just loves weather and he just talks about it. And it gets to a point where my partner and I were talking, he's like, oh, did you hear? Frankie said there's a storm next Monday. Like, oh no. Like we don't rely on our meteorologist. We rely on Frankie to tell us. Like, and he always ends up on my feed. feed. He's somehow always is on the algorithm. Like his videos reach people that he's talking about. And it's just, he's such a staple. Like anyone from Nova Scotia, if you say Frankie McDonald, they'll go, weather guy. Yeah. And he's like usually right. And another thing that was interesting was I forgot 10 years ago, there was all this drama where Cindy Day, our local meteorologist, and her name's Cindy Day. Isn't that like a perfect name for a meteorologist? Pretty good. But she got under some flack because she was hating on Frankie, essentially saying, he's not a real meteorologist. He just like talks about the weather. And like everyone's like, obviously Cindy Day, like why are you being a bee? Like frankly, that's kind of rude. And but then people were too mean to Cindy Day, and Cindy Day was like, you guys are being way too, like people were going too crazy in it. And then I looked up I was Googling Cindy Day Frankie McDonald controversy, and it was 10 years old, and I found a Reddit thread, and I had upvoted things on the Reddit thread. So I was there 10 years ago, like taking part in that discussion. I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. But yeah, it's just like such a unique Halifax, Nova Scotia thing that now it's like, oh, if Frankie says a storm's coming, a storm's coming. And it's just like this guy who loves the weather out in Sydney, and we all listen to him. Very fun.
That's so funny. That's very wholesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Get a load of this. I read this article from The Athletic, who I think they're now under the New York Times, that says, why are Olympic figure skaters having issues with their music selections? And it's just an interesting article that details like the drama of copyrights and how many clearances you need and like why you need different clearances, because it's like, oh, this is, public, but it's like a dramatic performance instead of just a general performance. And then all the countries have, different rules potentially, and just kind of why it ends up being like such an issue for skaters to be able to like have stuff cleared or have to change things like last minute or not. So yeah, it was just cool to learn more about that.
Cool.
That's a crazy idea, because I've seen some headlines about that too, of like you spend like years like coming up with a choreography to this very specific music, and then they're like, no, you can't use it. You got to change it and do something else. Now that seems insane. Get a load of this though. This was a short, YouTube short that was like showing up on my feed for several weeks until I finally clicked on it. It's called Why Bitcoin Could Hit $0. I don't care about that at all. But the guy who was in it, who was talking, I was like, that looks like the kid from the OC for a long time. And so I finally clicked on it and was watching it and was like, man, like he looks a little different. But I was like, this guy really looks like the OC, the kid from the OC. And then halfway through explaining why Bitcoin is like highly volatile right now, he said, hey, you might remember me as the kid from the OC, but I'm actually an economist now. And like, I'm really passionate about explaining what's going on in the market and stuff. And now I guess he's making videos for More Perfect Union talking about the economy. So he grew up and he got a real job, folks.
Are you proud of him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am. I think I am.
That's what I felt while you were telling that story, is you were proud of him for following his passion.
He wasn't, he's not just cashing in on it. I think he only brought it up to explain to people who were very confused like me of why do you look like that kid from the OC. But
yeah. He could just be doing cameos, but instead he learned a new skill and a new trade.
That's right.
Good for him.
He did.
Hey, get a load of this. I don't have anything this week. I am just like completely tapped. Maybe I just haven't been looking at the internet enough. I don't know.
Kyle, what's the latest Game Informer cover?
I mean, but that's a plug. But yes, GameInformer.com/subscribe. We have Invincible Versus on the cover. Very cool cover. We're going to have the version that you buy in stores is going to be different from the version that you get shipped to you. Like there's two different covers. Like one is like by the developer and one's by the one of the co-creators of the comic. It's very cool.
Oh, wow.
You get a load of that. That counts, right?
That's neat. Cool. I feel like it's the last time that Game Informer did that, when there was two versions of E3 2017. Remember when it was Kratos and Link? I only know that because I was an intern.
I'd have to look in it. I mean, we were doing two different covers for a while when we had like the special fancy editions that like you couldn't buy, which was a strange thing that we could never sort out internally. That's a whole thing. But yeah, like Sea of Stars had two different covers, which was cool. But yeah,
cool.
GameInformer.com.
And then I pulled one from our lovely Discord. And if you support us on MinnMax on Patreon, you can join our Discord at any tier. Leafeon, the Pizza Dog shouts out, attached a Kotaku article that was Amber Glenn, one of the USA figure skaters. She was ripping Magic the Gathering packs at the closing ceremony. Did you guys see this? It's like all this music going on around her. She's just like ripping Magic packs while her friend is recording her very quietly. And she's like, we got a good one. It's like one of the biggest, most important things of her life, probably. And I love that she's like, Magic the Gathering also. And I was looking into her more, and she's such a nerd that apparently Yuri on Ice, the anime, is the reason she started ice skating, because she loved that anime so much. Don't you love that?
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I heard about that because I love that show. My wife and I watched it together, and she was like, "I worked on the movie," and I was like, "When was the movie?" And I went down a rabbit hole, and they had like started production on a movie, and then they just like canceled it at a certain point. They released a trailer for it.
Was she like a
they started
consultant or
drawing
something?
it. Yeah, she was like a consultant, which is like really cool. But yeah, I don't know, weird thing. I'd love to see a movie follow up to that show. It was great.
I love when super nerds are also super athletes. Because it's so often like the jocks table and the nerd table, but then somebody's like a superhuman and is both. And it just is like, it's like going to a zoo. I like watch her. I'm like, you're fascinating. How are you the best figure skater in the world and also watch anime? It's like something in my brain is still so not clicked in that people can just like things and also be an athlete. I don't know why. I'm still back in the old days in the 90s when you got bullied for that. But that's our episode. Thank you, Kyle, Janet, and Jeff. For hanging out with me for this whole episode. We talked a lot of video games today.
Thanks for hosting, Haley.
Yeah, of course. I'll be back next week to host again. We'll be talking about even more games, likely Marathon next week. The new game, the new shooter from Bungie. We'll see how that plays. A lot of Resident Evil Requiem stuff going on MinnMax this week, as we already talked about. There'll be a bunch of live streams at the end of the week. Leo's doing one on Friday. Janet and Isaiah are doing another one on Friday. And Sarah and I are also doing one on Friday, but on Sarah's separate channel. Just because we got to play it before the deepest dive. And then, the deepest dive for Resident Evil Requiem will be starting next week. So we'll be talking about that as well. Looking forward to it. Thanks, you guys. It's always lovely. What does Ben say?
Be good.
Be good.
Can I say it?
Yeah.
Be good, have fun, let's go.
Thanks, Kyle. Bye.